on this episode of the Cyndágo podcast.
With special guest Gray Rhodes.
The good old days, favorite TV shows, getting angry, and male genitalia. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Cyndágo podcast. I am one of your two hosts, Stinky Rut.
And I am Albert Tross. And we have a special guest today.
We do.
Introduce yourself.
I'm the guy who was bleeped out on the last Cyndágo podcast. also known as
Yeah, Daniel.
also known as
my headphones
Gray
last.
Rhodes.
Huh? What was that, Gray? Had something to say?
We're still going?
Yeah, we're still going. Keep going. What?
Damn it, no. Okay.
Well, Daniel showed me something unplugged. I thought it was the microphone, so I stopped.
No.
No, we're still good.
We're still good.
But,
it was the headphones.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah,
So
okay.
you were bleeped out on which episode was that?
That was
I don't think that was the last one. I think it was the third one. It might have been the one with Connor.
It was the one with Connor. Yep.
Yeah, because I think you were talking about people who send you Snapchats of their dick.
Yep. Yeah, and then you accidentally open it in front of your girlfriend. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. That was different. Daniel sent me a Snapchat of just blatant gay porn.
That's right.
Just sitting there with Hayden, just opening Snapchats from friends, and then just dudes sucking another dude's dick. And Hayden was like, "What the fuck?"
But Gray, you may not know that this is actually what that comment was based after. We were all at dinner, me, my girlfriend Haley, and him. We were all at dinner, and I was just going through Snapchat, and Haley was sitting next to me, and I opened up your Snapchat, and it's just your dick. And she looks over, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And
that is the reason I do that. I like try to strategize too. Like I'll send you a video that seems like a normal regular video that I would send you, but then halfway through just dick and balls.
It's like it's like you took my piss vines and just made like what I used to do is I used to like show something in a bathroom or it didn't even look like a bathroom. And then I'd go down and just be me urinating in a toilet. But now Gray has taken it to a much he's just a larger scale. And instead of just peeing, he just shows us his dick.
Yeah, and I think I try to like do other things. Like, I try to send you like 4 Snapchats, and the first 2 like back to back to back. And the first 2 are totally normal, so you're like, okay, this is a normal series of Snapchats, and then just bam, just blindsides you with cock.
Yeah, no, or
Sure,
even worse.
blindsided my girlfriend.
But yeah, one of my favorite ones you sent where you were walking towards Hayden and she's like, "Oh, stop!" And then I'm like, "Oh boy, what is he doing? This silly goose!" And then he moves it down and it's just your dick, like half erect,
Like a little bit of chub going.
What
on.
did I expect?
Do y'all want to like tell people who I am?
No,
not at all.
No?
You're Rick.
Right,
No, we're gonna bleep your name out for the rest of this podcast. Yeah, but this is Gray. Of course, we recorded a podcast with you earlier, just never aired. I don't think.
No, I never made it.
Yeah, but it's our good friend Gray back from South Carolina. More of a friend of Daniel in the beginning in high school. Then you and I slowly became friends during senior year through Gears of War 3.
Yes.
But yeah, you can check him out. The first video, he's in our second video ever made. It was a hat trick.
Excellent long video.
That is the video to watch if you want to see Gray at his top, at his peak performance.
Most of the audience probably knows me from Opinion Minions.
Yeah.
Because that was the video I was in with Mark. I was the hideously attractive bald guy with an uneven goatee from the left side of his face.
But you made some of the best faces you've ever made in this video, dude.
I think it's funny because all the videos I'm in, I'm just in like transition stages, or like I'm in just like random appearance stages. So all the 3 times you see me, I look different in every single one. So the first one, I'm completely clean shaven, normal guy haircut. Second one, I look like a prison inmate with like a buzzed head and a goatee. And then I think in the last recent ones was whenever I had what?
This baggy pants.
Well, you don't even look like a prison inmate. You just look kind of like the kid who would just like stare at people at high school lunch. Like,
I don't know why I thought that was cool. I don't know why I thought I looked
if you
good.
remember for a short period of time, there's only one video where you see it, but I actually shaved to get a goatee in one video.
I remember that.
It was like
I did it for vlog.
Yeah, I did it for like
That's
a
right.
week, I think, or I can't remember if I let my beard grow. But like, yeah, goatee, I don't think is in right now at all. At least for my face.
In South Carolina, it's fine, but not Not everywhere else.
And then I like grew my beard out ridiculously long, and that was featured in the Plum, and I think also the DirecTV video that y'all did.
Our only like family friendly video.
Which I still love that video, man.
I think
that
it's
video
great.
is just well done.
I think it would have been better though if like we just kind of took it a step further.
You think?
Yeah, I don't know why. Just like with our brand of humor, like it's a funny idea, but I think if we really pressed ourselves, if we didn't put like a cage around what we could do as humor, we could have explored more just shocking things that we could have done.
That'd have been cool.
I think our intent was to be clean though. Like we planned.
Yeah, we planned to be clean. That's what I'm saying. If we just didn't set those barriers.
Yeah. It wasn't like we were like, let's come up with the best we could, and then that was it. It was like we knew going into it that we were going to limit ourselves, which is always a bad way to go into anything.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I think the funniest thing that came out of that were the outtakes that you did as the dictator. Like
dude,
some of the things you would
dude.
say.
Oh my god, that was fun because pretty much like we just set up Daniel's garage to be this like big kind of green screen room, and that's where like most of the green screen work from like the latter videos have come from just in Daniel's garage.
Yeah.
And basically what you did was we dressed myself up to look all weird, and I curled up my mustache and stuff, and pretty much you just said, just stand here and just scream some stuff. And so I didn't want to just scream gibberish. I wanted to look like I was actually screaming words. So I just started screaming random stuff.
Dude, it
in
was
like this just thick German accent. And I just
You don't even know my name.
You're not pretty.
Our neighbors are going to complain.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
You yelled at people last night. I just remember there were people like the noise.
is funny.
This is what my brain remembers. It may not exactly be the noise they were making, but I just remember woo 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 like that over and over again, like some high pitched like thing, and like like laughing. All of a sudden, I hear really loud, just shut the fuck up, and I'm like, what? Like Daniel went into dad mode or something. It was so fun. I came in the room right away. I'm like, was that you? He's like, yeah, I just felt like yelling. Like,
was it like the apartment next to y'all?
So to go into detail, so we live on like a street corner. So right around the corner, there's a club that's open late, and this was like 1 in the morning. So they were just like a group of people, guys and girls, walking to the street, yelling at the top of their lungs, just like woohoo, yeah, like 1 in the morning. And they were doing it for so long, and I was on a Skype call with a friend.
See, I thought it was a loop. Like they were doing the same sound and doing it for so long. I thought it was him working on something, playing something on a loop.
Yeah, they were doing it like a spitting image of the sound over and over. Anyway, it was getting annoying, not to the point where I needed to yell, but I wanted to yell. I just wanted that adrenaline rush. I wanted to feel like it was like to be in the shoes of that guy that yelled.
Basically, so you thought about it for 15 minutes. You got an adrenaline rush about 4 minutes before you actually did it. You said, hold on, and you went and stood by the window for like 30 seconds. Yep. Did it, and then sat down and you were like,
Dude, were you here? Did you watch me do this? Because that was perfect. Yeah,
I know that's exactly what happened. And you had this the adrenaline rush stay with you for like 20 minutes, and that's all you could think about. I like people.
I mean, there was a lot of like withdrawal afterwards. Like, oh man, I want to do it again. Like, give me something else to yell at. Ryan walks in. Hey, what's up?
This is gonna be like the most embarrassing thing, but like later that night, like people were making noises outside of my window, and I was like, I want to yell. Like I got so giddy, I'm like, I'm gonna yell, I'm gonna do it, but I couldn't get the courage to do it, so I just went. Psst. Just to get their attention, I just went. Psst.
Oh my god, that is the funniest fucking thing.
That's hilarious.
Right,
I was like, I'm gonna yell, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show these people to wake me up. And then yeah,
you're being too loud.
Yeah, but they stopped as soon, like right after you yelled. Like there was silence.
Yeah. Oh, dude. No, they laughed, and then they were like, "Oh man, what a good guy!" Like I'm some kind of like nice person.
That would suck to be right next to a club, though. I live in Clemson. I go to Clemson University. I'm a student.
What's your address?
And I actually live on campus. What was that?
What's your address?
You want my phone number? Personal email address?
Your SSN would be nice, too.
So I live on campus, and we have like kind of like a downtown area that has like 5 or 6 bars.
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool. It's like a small town kind of nightlife scene.
I'm hoping you'll show me around to like some of the places that you explore, because
yes.
I'm turning 21 here on June 14th. And I know,
Yes,
like,
dude.
that's one of the things that I wanted you to do is show me around the, like, town. Because we go to downtown, but the only thing we'd really do is, like, let's get late night pastries. Like, that was what we could do.
I snuck into a Clemson bar once, and it was just crowded. And
Was that whenever
drunk.
you probably went? Yeah, there's a couple bars that are they're way too crowded and way too loud. There's a couple bars that I like that are kind of like they're like middle ground. Like there's one bar that's like ridiculously chill and there's like nothing going on, and there's some bars where like you can't even hear the person next to you.
That's
and
what mine was.
Yeah.
Mine was on like a street corner.
Yep, I know the exact bar you're talking about. So you're talking about TD's.
Yep,
the
that's
least
it.
favorite bar in Clemson. Hate that shit.
Now, is that, like,
that's where
purposely,
Josh
like,
wanted to go.
TDs, like, titties?
touchdowns, like touchdowns.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
Yeah.
like, I thought it was something like Hooters or someone trying to be clever with a bar name.
Nah,
it does sound
that
like that's what
sucks.
it could have
Yeah.
been. TDs.
It was like Hispanic. TDs. That's fucked up. Anyway.
Sucks ass. But anyway, because as your story made me think about it, because they actually have apartments that are like above downtown.
Oh,
like you can like live in an apartment above like a bar, and it's so dumb. I can't imagine living in that apartment because all you'd be able to hear all night is just and to just drunk people until like 3 or 4 in the
They
morning.
still use
like,
that same
it's
beat.
just
They
house
still use
music.
that same beat
It's
from like
just house-
5 years ago.
The same house music in every bar.
It is honestly every bar played. There's 2 types of music that every bar has played, or there's 3 types. There's house music, Taylor Swift, and country. It's
Yeah.
horrible, and I don't like. The house music can be cool sometimes,
Yeah.
but I'm not a big Taylor Swift or country fan. I mean, I don't hate Taylor Swift, but I really don't like country.
I have to say, one of the funniest things about going to Clemson, because I've been a couple times. Ryan and I have both been a couple times to visit you and Luke, and I've got some other friends
Only
there.
2 times each.
2.
yeah, and-
Well, I've gone 3. Not that it.
yeah.
not
You
that
went
it-
to that one. You went to that football game one time with
That's right.
Josh.
That's right. Anyway, so I was at that football game, and it was one of the funniest fucking things because every song that they played during half. If you go to like a Carolina game, every other song is a hip hop song that they
Yeah.
play, and I think that's just not necessarily because like it's more, I don't know, urban. I don't know how
Yeah.
to say that without sounding like an asshole, but
Yeah.
it's. I guess it is. I guess it is. There's a lot more culture in South Carolina, like a lot more diverse culture in Columbia than there is in Clemson. It's mostly
Definitely.
very narrow demographic. Anyway, so they do have one hip hop song that they play at the games, and it's the custom song made for Clemson.
Oh, fuck that song,
Dude, it's so funny because because it's just like country and rock and like pop, and then it just cuts to hey,
No.
and like all these white guys at the bottom are like doing this like weird like hip hop arm
Dance.
thing
Yeah,
dance.
dude, nah. There's
So
fuck that
funny.
song, and then there's also like a custom like Clemson country song.
Oh,
that is like
what?
it's the worst shit I've ever heard. Like, but everyone loves it because it's like, oh my god, it sounds like a real song, and it's talking about orange and tigers. Hate it, man. It sucks. But you were spot on when it comes to like Clemson not being diverse. We're like 98% white people. It's
Wow.
it's ridiculous. The amount of like we have so like little minorities. Like it's just you walk down like Library Bridge, and it's like most of the time you don't see anyone who's not white, and if you do, like it's like 2 or 3 people, and you know what I mean? Like it's kind of I don't understand. I don't really get how like that demographic could exist unless it's intentional, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's not like South Carolina is like that. Because exactly like you said, you go to USC and it's a lot more diverse. You go to a lot of other colleges, it's a lot more diverse. So yeah,
Yeah, I
don't know
mean,
how feel about
South
that.
Carolina has a rap for like kind of just being like very. I don't know what's the word I'm trying to.
I mean, it's
describe
it's the Bible Belt,
Yeah.
and it's under the Mason-Dixon line,
Yeah.
and all those stereotypes that
Yeah,
come
I
along with
mean,
it.
there's a lot of stereotypes there, but surprisingly, we are diverse. There is a diverse culture.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't experience it that much until when I was in college with USC because I started going out more, like to 5 Points in Columbia and stuff, and going out with you more, Daniel.
Yeah.
Because I was mostly in my house, so of course I was only in like neighborhoods and just nice neighborhoods. But yeah, we're definitely a lot more diverse than people give the South credit for. It's just we always get a bad rap because of like past, and of course you always have if one person said something, then then it's gonna loudly and obnoxiously it's gonna speak for the whole group.
Yeah, I think there are
Definitely.
there are good and bad people everywhere. You're
Yeah.
always going to find great people, and
Yeah, I mean, people are like ragging on the South, but I mean, the video that came out of the like that fraternity in the University of Indiana,
Yeah.
Like, Indiana is like northern, and that's one of the most like blatantly racist things I've heard in the past couple of years.
Right. It's all. I mean, there's terrible people everywhere, and there's great people everywhere. I just think it's unfair that people say, "Oh, you're from this area, you're automatically like this." That's stereotyping. I feel like as I've gotten older, it's not like a thing where it's like, man, I got to get out of this mindset because I was born in South Carolina. It's like, it's just common sense. It's like I was not raised with this racist, prejudiced, appropriating mindset. So why, I don't know. Luckily, since we've been here in LA, we haven't gotten too much like people
judgment?
that are judgment. That's the word I'm looking for.
There's this one guy. It doesn't really go off the same thing, but there's this one guy that stands in front of this like tobacco smoke shop, which you cross the street, and then he always stands in front of this like smoke shop, and then that's how you get to like the shopping area.
This guy.
And so like I'll walk by him, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And for the sake of the story, I have to say he's black. So I'm like, "Hey, nothing much." And then he tries to like hand me a pamphlet or tries to talk to me about a pamphlet, and I don't feel like dealing with it.
No,
because I just like you never want to deal with someone talking to you about a pamphlet at this time. And sometimes I'll humor people, but this, I just wasn't feeling it. And he just goes, "Oh, is it because I'm black?" And it's like in front of a lot of people, and I'm like, "You don't like black people?" And I'm like, "Stop! No, stop! That's not the reason why at all. Stop that."
It's a great technique. A great tactic.
Oh, yeah.
It like embarrassed me in front of a crowd of just other people, like probably looking at me like, "What did this guy say to him?"
That
like,
exact.
I said nothing.
Yeah, that exact same thing happened to my family.
I wish I could have seen your face when that happened. I could just picture.
It's
your
happened
reaction.
twice.
Yeah,
it happened in front of Haley. Like he was just like is the same guy, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt. And it seemed like this one was going well. And all of a sudden, he goes, "Hey, you gonna marry this one?" to Haley, and she like smiled and just kind of like nodded over to him. He's like, "Whatever." Anyways, man. And then he pulls out the pamphlet again. And I'm like, "Sorry." He's like, "Oh, you with the black people again?" I'm like, "No, please stop. Don't embarrass me with my girlfriend. This isn't fair. Stop." Like, I just don't want to read your stupid pamphlet, probably about like
black people.
No. Jesus,
I'm kidding.
Fuck.
It's a dark joke. It's a dark joke.
It's a dark joke.
That's funny. So
anyway,
on another note, I was thinking, because I knew I was going to be on the podcast, I was thinking of like old videos and stuff, like Cyndágo related stories I've been in, and I've realized that I feel like I've almost been in more unreleased videos than I have been in like released videos. Like, there are so many videos that I've been in that I've just not seen.
There's one.
Well, we weren't planning on having this conversation with you on this, Grabe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we got some news. You're just not
funny.
Just not cutting. No, I'm
Not
just
funny.
kidding.
Material's just shit.
There's one video that comes to mind, which I can't remember the name of it, but it had something to do with. I was about to say something Dinkelberg. What's his name?
Yes.
What's his name?
It was what the fuck is his
Game
name?
of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage. It was like
yeah.
it was what did we call that segment?
It was
The
Like
actors.
Pfeiffer Dunklage or something like that.
no
Dinklage.
It was like, I don't remember what we called it, but it was like some like info show that was
It was
basically
like it was in the style of the videos that y'all release. Like the most recent one you just released with Mark. Kind of like the spoofy kind of goofy commercials.
Yeah, but it had the weirdness of Jags. It wasn't like too goofy and like, "Hey guys."
And it was kind of like a top 10 list spoof too, where it was
Yeah.
like just what's really popular on YouTube right now.
It's basically the video was essentially top 10 facts about Peter Dinklage.
Looking back on it, that probably would have been really funny if
That'd been funny
we'd
as shit.
planned it
and
out
it was
more.
topical. It was topical. It probably would have gotten a good, more
Yeah,
views
because
than our usual
Game of
videos.
Thrones was like hot. This is probably about a year ago, and we basically just dressed up as stupid as we possibly can. I broke Daniel's sister's necklace just because.
Oh, dude, she was didn't care about that.
Wasn't it?
Oh, okay. All right.
We basically just kind of stood in front of the green screens, the same thing, and we just kind of riffed. Like all three of us just stood there and riffed, but for like 10 minutes apiece. And I mean, it was hilarious. I don't know if it would have come across as like cohesive.
Yeah, that's
I feel like it would have seemed like it was just the three of us riffing rather than something that was like a sketch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, that's not to interrupt you, but but I am going to interrupt you. That's kind of what we do though. Like that's kind of something that we can brag about is that we do riff and we're chaos when we're shooting most of the time. So the real challenge is in post making it all come together and slipping things together. And like, for instance, I mean, what was the sketch that we cut like most of it out? A brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Now that's not like a showcase of our.
I watched it again. It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
That should have been one of the unreleased videos.
No, it's not that bad. Like, go back and watch
I'm gonna
it.
tell you the story behind Brilliant Idea because it was me.
Yep.
It was basically me being like, this is why I could never do anything sketch comedy related. Because
you got way too excited about this idea too.
God, I really thought it was funny.
You thought it was like God's gift to mankind.
Jeez.
So tell the story.
If you haven't seen the video yet, go watch the video. It's called Brilliant Idea. Watch the video and get context for like the story we're about to tell. So essentially, this was back when Daniel and I both worked at a candy shop in downtown Columbia. And I had like a 6-hour shift, and the whole time I was just trying to think of Cyndágo videos ideas. Because this was back in like the early days of Cyndágo.
Yeah, when it was
like
new.
y'all had only been something for like 6 or 7 months. I think he had like 8 videos out or something.
I remember Brilliant Idea because it was like in the middle, like after like one of my like I think it was after Mark's first visit. Or maybe
it was.
It was
after Mark's first visit, and I
after.
remember the video because we took a long hiatus because I just went through a phase because like I recently got out of a relationship and I took it really hard. And I remember Brilliant Idea was the video to come that was going to be like Cyndágo's comeback.
This is what to expect in the future. Unsubscribe now.
We've had like 12 comebacks and they all suck.
But anyway, so I sat there just racking my brain. I was like, I've got this wonderful idea. And so it was Brilliant Idea. And essentially I had this just dumb as fuck ending where I was going to like stand up and like take my pants off or something.
Show us your
and then
Show us your penis and a light comes out.
Yeah.
And it like burns
the light
our
comes
head
off
or
my
something.
penis and you guys wake up like, it was...
No, the original ending was that we died.
That's right,
your
penis died, like killed.
You died from the side of my cock. Yeah. Basically, you were like, all right, let's do this. And so we filmed it, and we got to the very end, and you two went out. You guys like went outside, and I stayed up in the room. Basically, outside, you guys were like, how can we tell them this video sucks ass? And so I came out, and I was like, this video sucks, doesn't it? And you're like, yeah. And so like, how can we end this shit? And so let's just like pretend we're walking away from the camera, and you guys are. And I'm telling you this idea, and you're just telling me that it sucks. And it's just, it was awful.
Yeah, actually, what's funny is that luckily we don't die at the side of your cock because if we did, we'd have been dead 20 times over.
Yeah. See, okay. Back to like my dick.
It's always going to come back to your dick, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, I think y'all touched on this when you were talking.
That was a weird.
Y'all
fucking
touched
laugh.
on this when you were talking to Connor about like the whole like seeing each other naked thing.
Yeah.
And essentially, I don't know what happened, but I feel like I came home from college one time and like a switch had been flipped where like there's no boundaries anymore, and so now when it came to like our like physical bodies, there was no boundaries between the three of us anymore.
This is getting weird as fuck.
From that point on, we would just like try to see how we could get the other people to see us naked. And it just escalates to where I just send you Snapchats of my dick. But I specifically remember my favorite like naked story is I was hanging out with
Not
Ryan
your story.
one
You
time.
didn't put it up on your story.
No, not my story. Although I did do that. I'll save that story for later. So I was hanging out with Ryan one time, and we were like bored as shit, and we were just playing video games. Like, what do we do? And we were like, all right, let's get an Omegle and just fuck around and do some funny stuff. And so,
I heard about this.
Basically on Omegle, like people can skip you. Like if you, it's kind of like chat roulette, I guess, where like, you can like see somebody and then skip, see somebody skip. And so we were like, how can we get people to stay on our thing? And so what we would do is like, I would be sitting in the chair with a gun.
Yeah.
And like I would just have a gun like this. Just it's almost like a clickbait basically.
Yeah.
Or like
he has a gun. What's he gonna do?
Yeah. And so they're like, oh, he's got a gun. What's he gonna do? And then Ryan would just walk across the back of the screen butt naked, and they'd be like, what the fuck? Just this naked
Sometimes
guy.
I would like crab walk, like just to make it weirder.
That is so
Man,
funny.
it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
go for it.
Oh well, I was
You
gonna.
tell your story,
God
motherfucker.
damn it! Well, you still got to tell that story about.
Yeah, I will tell the story.
But yeah, we also touched on getting comfortably naked around each other. I think that just comes with age and friends.
Yeah.
But I think one of my absolute favorite things, and I don't think we talked about this last time we talked about us being naked.
Yeah, of course.
But I was on the food. This was years back, and I obviously we'd been friends for a very long time, I hope, at this point.
Like about a few weeks.
Yeah, you already know what I'm going to... Yeah, a few days.
No, I think I know where this is going, but I want to hear it. I want to make sure I know.
Yeah, so I'm like sitting on the futon. It's like late at night. We just went for like our third snack run at 4 a.m.
McDonald's, cookies,
McDonald's,
donuts.
cookies, donuts.
We're fat boys.
All original things I'm saying that he totally didn't just say.
Okay, continue. What do you do?
Anyway, so like I'm just sitting watching a movie. All the lights are out. Just the glow of the TV on my face lighting the room. And all of a sudden, I just feel this waggling earthquake coming towards me, and it's like flesh colored and fast, and it just falls on me, and I feel the cold sweat of a penis on my leg. And he just dived into the futon completely naked.
Oh my god!
And in seconds he went from like putting his bags down, like taking off his pants just to like get in bed and get comfortable. I'm off on the side on a separate piece of furniture, and in seconds he's naked jumping. And it wasn't like a smooth like let's walk into the zone of being comfortable running. He forced us into it.
Because it's like when you do that, it forces into the like you're paralyzed. Like you don't like you can't move. You're like I don't know what to think. What the fuck?
Oh
No, I
I
was running away. Yeah, I can't like hit him like jokingly because I'm gonna rub my knuckle against his ball sack. I don't want to do that. Oh man,
let's talk more about your dick and Snapchat, Greg.
Oh, okay. So there was one time my girlfriend Hayden.
Wait, what's her name?
She was featured in
Wait, what's her name?
Huh?
What's her name?
Her name's Hayden.
Okay.
And
Last
she
name?
was featured in what was that video called with Mark? What was that one?
That one?
Yeah. You with the neighbors with the
Wharf Stash
Food.
Okay. So in the Wharf Stash Affair, which I believe is y'all's most popular video at this point, right?
It is. I wonder how many views that has.
Yeah. Okay. So
A ripped-off
basically,
idea.
Cyndágo's most popular video right now features my girlfriend in bed with Markiplier, and I couldn't be more proud. So that's my girlfriend. Her name's Hayden, and so she was in class one time. She also
Wait. Who's your girlfriend?
What's your girlfriend?
So Hayden, my girlfriend, was in class with another person, and they were like, "Hey, Hayden." Anyway, so I sent her Snapchats, and she was opening them, and I saw that she was opening them in class. So I was like, "Oh, fucking perfect." So I took a picture of I tried to make it as unflattering as possible. So just flaccid dick with just my balls in the background, just so unflattering. And so I was like, I know what I'll do to make it funny, to put more focus on my dick. I will fill in everything except for the dick. So on Snapchat, I'm just like violently scribbling everything.
With what color, if you can remember? With what color?
I must have went to like...
Hey.
What?
What color did you use to fill in the rest of the space?
I used red.
Okay.
Which I probably should have used a different color to provide more contrast, because red's too similar.
Maybe like a cyan.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like a
So anyway,
almost like
I
yellow.
must have like made a line or something and lifted my finger and then like accidentally brought it back down onto story. So all of a sudden, I'm just coloring this picture of my dick, and all of a sudden it says adding to story. I'm just freaking the fuck out because like my grandma, my little like 15-year-old sister.
Wait,
Did you Snapchat your grandma?
Well, no, but she's
Grace,
friends with me, so
Snapchat
she
your grandma.
She's friends with me, so she can see all my
wish you guys
stories.
could've
So I'm
seen the
just
look.
thinking, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get a call from my mom. Great, we need to have a talk. Like I'm thinking, what do I do? And so there's like panicked 30 seconds while I'm trying to figure out how to like delete my one of my Snapchats. And so I finally got it off there, and it was awful. And so it was terrible, man.
So no one saw it. Not one person saw it.
Nah, I don't think anyone did, and if
That
they
you
did, they
know
never
of.
mentioned it to me. So
I know now that you can see how many people have seen your story.
yeah, I don't know if you could back then. That's
That's
why
what
I'm
I'm
scared.
thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Have y'all seen all the new changes that they've done to Snapchat?
So
by the way?
many.
No,
useless
I
changes.
barely get on Snapchat.
So many
Okay, so
useless
there's
changes.
like they took away like the best friends, like the people can see your best friends list.
I
and
like
now
the
there's,
best friends.
Yeah, but there's like emojis next to people's names now, and like different emojis mean different things.
What?
So it's like one emoji
I don't
will
know
mean
that.
like
As I said, I
they're
don't get
your
on
best
Snapchat
friend.
that much anymore.
I don't think that's... Well, I mean, you can put emojis in people's names.
No, but it's like you go to. I'm talking. It's like next to people's names, like on like the
to signify if they're
stream.
like best friend
Yeah.
or worst
And
enemy.
so it's like when you go to send it to them, like different smiley faces will be next to their name, or different symbols will be next to their names. and it's really strange. I don't really understand it, and I haven't figured it out yet.
I'm going to send you a Snapchat right now.
All right, do it. Ooh, oh.
Okay, he just took a Snapchat.
Guess what it's of? I have no smiley faces next to anyone's name.
Really? Do you have automatic updates turned on your phone?
Yeah. Was this really recent that you found out?
This morning. It happened this morning.
Okay. Well,
guys, we're trial and erroring live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right now,
guys.
for
Actually,
you.
we are sponsored by Snapchat
And also Movie Pass. So make sure to go pick up Movie Pass.
Yes, and also the LA Dodgers. Excellent baseball team.
Well, they can't see it. We're on Skype right now.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. So for the 3 people who can see Ryan's t-shirt right now.
I'm wearing it because it was a gift from my stepmom's brother. Does that make him anything to me? I don't think it does.
because it's only worth wearing to the gym. That's why he's
No, don't. Okay.
Oh, I'm kidding.
But
I'm kidding.
yeah, I mean, I'm not a big I like baseball. I'm just not a big Dodgers fan. But that's important. I'm glad you guys know that now. You were talking about something.
I think it'd be cool to like talk about like how I met y'all.
Yeah.
And how because honestly, I feel like I was like there when y'all became friends too.
Oh yeah.
I feel like one of the first times that you two hung out, like I was like there, like we kind of like did like a 3-man thing. It was we had a 3-way.
Yeah.
It was it was cool. Basically,
trois.
I've been friends with Daniel since was it the summer before 10th grade?
It's summer before 11th grade.
Summer before 11th grade. So it's been like 5 years now.
We were sworn enemies before.
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
y'all hated each other?
No, but like
in 8th grade we like I was a little old piece of shit in 8th grade. Like I was just such a fucking asshole. So I was just kind of mean to everybody, and I was like that guy that you hate.
Well, you hung out with a crowd that you had like no other choice. Like if you were going to fit in with this crowd, that's what you had to do. No one can blame you. I mean, kids are fucking assholes. All kids suck.
Yeah, no, it's actually funny because I was mean to Hayden in 8th grade, and now we've been dating for like 3 years. So like I bullied my future girlfriend. So awful.
Joke's on you.
But anyway, and so Daniel and I, we had a mutual friend. His name is Jaime, and we were hanging out one time, and then I think, what was it? It was you. I went back to your house to watch you play guitar with Dallas.
That's right.
It was after I watched you play guitar for a while.
We went to Warped Tour. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think like a week later I came and spent the night, and we bounced this bouncy ball around your kitchen for like 6 hours one night, and we like bonded, and so we were friends for a while, and probably a little over 2 years before I started hanging with Ryan. And now all 3 of us were a part of this thing in high school called Silver Screen, which was kind of like the high school news program.
Yeah.
Ryan was actually the producer of it. I think you've talked about it. I don't know if you did talk about it.
I don't think I've talked about it on this podcast.
No, I don't think so. We've mentioned it in a lot of different...
Yeah, so I was basically in charge of all the reporters, which would be like you, including like 20 other students, which was ridiculous.
Basically, he had to passively aggressively tell everyone to get in line.
Like at first, Daniel and I, like the first, like, I don't know, it was very awkward for me because
I don't remember it being awkward. I remember just being like, okay.
It was awkward because like I respected you and the talent that you had, and like I didn't want to burn any bridges by just being kind of like that dick who's in charge, who thinks he's in charge, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's not even a worthwhile.
I mean, yeah, I mean, well,
no, but it is because it sucks because since you were the producer, it kind of like prevented you from really being friends with anyone who was on the cast. Yeah. So it's like for this entire year, it was hard for you to be friends with me or you to be friends with Daniel because like you were essentially their boss and you had to like kind of hold us accountable.
Yeah.
And it did suck. I will say Daniel and I didn't make it any easy for you.
No,
Daniel and I took every single opportunity to goof off. Even though we did make some stuff that year that I thought was really
good.
Dude, you made proud of.
Yeah, you made great content. It's like
where
you didn't make
burglar.
it. You made it hard for me because you pissed off the teacher so much, and the teacher addresses me about it.
Yeah, I mean, like from laughing all the time to eating too much Olive Garden, like
no, the second semester we were allowed to leave to like work on projects, and we'd be like, okay, we're gonna go film, and we would leave and we'd go to Olive Garden, and then we'd go play Call of Duty. we didn't work. We probably did all the work in like 3 weeks in the 9 weeks that we had.
Dude, I actually found a Dropbox folder. I got on my Dropbox yesterday for the first time in years and found all the footage is still on our Dropbox. Yeah.
Oh, like the raw footage.
The raw, dark, grainy footage of Tony Tonella. Shouts out to Tony Tonella.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, anyway.
I mean, actually, Burglar, like y'all's videos that you have on your channel, but Burglar and Stains, those were two videos that Daniel and I made in high
Burglar
school.
too, the second one.
Is that on Cyndágo?
That's on Cyndágo, the second one. No,
Yeah,
Good
Guys
it
on
is.
Cyndágo.
Good Guys on
Oh,
Cyndágo.
okay. So Good Guy, that was also part. So we did that in that year that we were on Silver Screen. Anyway, and then near the end of that year, I started hanging out with Ryan a little bit more, and so did
I don't know
Daniel.
what started that. I don't
either.
remember.
I think we were just we just kind of like talked more during Silver Screen.
Yeah, it's always a gray area where I like try to remember how friendships started. It's almost like it just kind of happened at some point.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Because I remember, like, I was with Jahari. I think was it me, you, and Jahari that rode in his car once, and he showed us his gun. I'll never forget.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was back when I barely knew Ryan.
Okay,
at all.
I didn't just show you a gun like I take to high school.
No,
I wasn't
I'm
like
tell
that.
The story. I'm going to tell the story. Hey, you want to see a gun? Buying a dumpster? Come here. It wasn't like that. No, but basically what happened was we were going to hang out somewhere. I think we saw a movie or went bowling. I don't remember.
It was late at night.
It was late at night, and we were driving back to his house, and Ryan was in just like a Ryan mode. So he's like kind of brooding and driving really fast and being really quiet. And then like,
typical Ryan.
Yeah. But the whole reason we were going to his house is just so he could show me this fake gun that he has that we've ended up using in mini sketches.
It's really real, and it feels wonderful.
It feels real.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it feels
the gray. It's the revolver, the 2-inch silver revolver.
Yeah,
Dan Wesson.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, like Jahari is one of our old friends. Gray has an interesting interesting fallout with. But anyway, that's irrelevant. I don't want to get too many tangents here. So we're riding to his house. And Ryan's going like 70 over like some like big bumps on like a country road, and Jahari's like white knuckling the seat, like man, like going crazy. Ooh, almost got into like a really weird area there. That almost got bad.
I saw you stop yourself.
You saw me stop. Like I could have said.
But that was a perfect impression of Jahari.
Yeah.
Impersonation, as I would say.
It was an impersonation.
That's what
I had a mustache and glasses on. I'm Jahari. Anyway, so we get to his house, and like Ryan, like I don't know, Ryan back then you were a lot more socially awkward.
Yeah.
And it was cute. Like, it was adorable. It was the best. And I mean, like, I saw through that because you and I were friends from Silver Screen. We knew each other. But Jahari didn't really know you at all. So all he saw was this, like, straight-faced kid, like, walk out and then just, like, pull out, like, look side to side and then pull a gun out of his pants. Like, dude, check this thing out. And I'm like, dude, awesome, man. We need to use this in a video. And, like, me and Ryan are geeking out and Jahari's off in the backseat, like, dead silent. And then he ends up giving us a ride back somewhere, and then we get dropped off, and Jahari's like, man, what the fuck was up with...
Man, what the fuck?
I get really excited. Like, in high school, I never really had that many friends. I had probably two main friends, my own cousin, which, you can count that as a friend, but, he's family. So I had, like, Matt, Richard, and then Sam, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
So I was never really invited to do anything. So you guys started inviting me and stuff. I'm like, oh my God. Because I never thought I thought I was just always weird because, like, I was always the kid that would, like, say something or try to be funny, then the popular girl would, like, look at with disgust.
Oh, dude, me too, believe me.
But, so, like, I mean, I was excited because I was entering this state of being, like being social for not the first time, but, like, you guys weren't really introverts. I'd say you were more like you were just extroverts, and it was my first time in that world of like just letting the hyperness go out in public, not just staying inside, playing video games and stuff, and like telling jokes and stuff. But it was the first time like going out in public and socializing and stuff. Yeah. So I really think like our friendship really brought me out a little bit.
You are so welcome.
I know that like
no, Gray and I.
My bad. Sorry.
Because my personality is very like loud and obnoxious at all times. And
yes.
In high school, I always like all my friends that I made were kind of like those same type of people. Like I was friends with Daniel, who like maybe not you weren't like loud and obnoxious at all times, but you could be very loud and obnoxious. And like I was friends with like Seth, who definitely was that way.
Always loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember don't know where I was going with that, but anyways, so Ryan and I hung up for the first time. I know that
Gears of War 3 Horde mode.
Yeah. I think I came over to your place and we played Gears of War 3. Yeah, we got to Horde mode like level 48. Was that like our high? Yeah, we never got past 48.
It's like you and I would always play Gears of War 3 Horde mode, and then Daniel, our game was Zombies, Black Ops 2.
Yeah, Black Ops 2 Zombies. And Gray and I's game was Black Ops 1. We played
oh my god, dude!
Shit out of that game.
We played. Okay, that was 11th grade. I think I would come back to your place every single day after school, and we would play Black Ops 1 online. We'd open like Nuketown and Firing Range.
Yeah, I'd come home and practice like volume songs on the drums, and you'd get like an insane kill spread, like 20 kills and like 10 deaths.
Holy shit! I remember that.
Which was good for us. That was crazy.
I actually found my old cell phone the other day from those days. This was like the Daniel and Gray hang out every day days.
Oh man,
and there were so many fucking hilarious videos that we filmed that we made on that thing. Of just most of the time it'd be Daniel sitting on the drums and he would just do something incredibly stupid and I would film him. And so he'd be like, "What's up, guys? This song's called Swans." And then every single thing he was hitting, he wasn't actually hitting the drum. He was hitting like the edge of the drum. So it was just all these like click, 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 like clicky noises. And then there's this one you like hit your finger.
Oh,
and
it hurts so bad.
God,
the video
so
stopped
funny.
perfectly.
Like on a cymbal?
Freak out. I hit my finger with a drumstick.
Oh,
I just came down on it with a drumstick.
Fuck.
I actually remember one of the first times, Ryan, I ever went to your mom's house. That was whenever you had all your prop guns. You had like 3 or 4 prop guns. But for some reason, you weren't like, okay, I know these are prop guns. Ray does not know these are prop guns. I'm going to tell him that they are prop guns. You didn't. And so I went to your house and like we're just sitting there. And I think I was going to spend the night there. And I was looking around at all these guns. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like, I thought I knew him. He's not this like cool video game, like video making kind of guy. He's like this. He just has guns.
Let's go out and hunt with my 2 handguns and my M16.
I was thinking more like, good thing I'm friends with this kid. Good thing I'm on this kid's bad good side.
And like, I don't think I asked you one time. I didn't say. I was too scared. I was too.
Are you serious?
Like,
yeah, you were scared that.
Hey, Ryan, are these real guns? You want to find out?
That's what I thought. I thought he was gonna be like, yeah, dude, you want to go shoot some stuff? And I'd be too afraid to say no.
Just like,
that I'd end up like in like 2 hours away, like shooting guns with a bunch of people.
I feel like this is the household of like ruled by Ryan, where his mom just hides in her room and it's like, shut the fuck up, mom. It's like, hey, are those real guns? Yeah, let's go shoot at my mom.
Oh, that's great.
I was so scared, man. It was that's funny.
Oh man, yeah.
I've always been a fan of guns, though.
I think they're cool, man. I used to my parents thought my parents saw all the like red flags when I was a kid with like explosions. Like I would always be drawing explosions and things like getting torn to bits. I could draw like I went to the library when I couldn't have been like fourth, fifth grade.
Yeah.
I would go to the library and I would get like the big, thick like handgun like catalog of like 1989 or something. They were old and they were dusty, but they were thick and they had all these beautiful guns. Every serial number, everything. And I would go through and I'd just draw them because I thought they looked so fucking cool. Like guns, they look cool. I don't know why. I was obsessed with that for a long time.
I think that's why I like Call of Duty a lot, because then you can start customizing your guns and like, oh, this looks cool. Like I just start getting in the mood of like, what camo can I put on the gun? But like going back to like just drawing weird stuff, like I'd be in the middle of class and I'd be no.
Oh yeah,
I'd be drawing like it almost seemed like it was just racist Ryan because it was black stick figures versus white stick figures, but that's the only way I could separate them into like armies, like by color, and I only had a pencil. But it was just black versus white.
Did the white always win?
No.
Oh, okay. Sure.
But like it would be like I'd always take not a giant, but just a regular notebook sheet of paper, and I'd draw platforms. Then I'd just start drawing like little battles happening. Like this one stick figure was like being decapitated. This other one was like shooting a laser, blowing.
I did the exact same thing.
Me and Aaron Reese, another good friend of ours, in ninth grade, we would pass back the same sheet of paper and just come up with like an attack for the other.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
It was so fun, dude. It was
I used to legitimately draw stick figures like just horribly maiming each other.
Yeah.
I would draw like an entire sheet of paper, like a stick figure, like running down a hallway, just like cutting off people's heads and like just shooting people. Like it was awful.
That's like back with like stickpage.com where they had the like very violent stick figure games and animations and stuff.
Stickdeath.com, that was cool too. Oh guys, I need to tell you about this time I was in church and started drawing stuff, so this is fun. my mom hated me.
Was it like
for this? Oh, it was bad.
Was it satanic or was it just violent?
Oh, it was violent against Jesus. So basically you literally just bit take.
I'm sorry.
How wet is it? Oh no.
Oh no.
He just soaked the mic.
I wasn't expecting
Hold
that.
on.
Hold on.
It's an emergency. I'll get him on. I think it should still work.
No.
Can you tell by the levels? Boo, boo. Yeah, it still works.
It still works.
Still picking
You
it
just
up.
Spit water all over the microphone.
Oh my god. Okay, well, sorry about that, fair listeners.
Okay, anyways, we'll come back and we'll just explain what happened.
Okay, so anyway.
Wait a second.
Hold on, he's still rubbing the mic. You won't be able to hear shit.
Oh.
Alright, cool.
Okay, and the levels on... Okay, look at my levels.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm fine?
You're fine, yeah.
Woo, woo, woo!
Yeah,
okay, I'm good, okay.
All right.
Okay, so...
Okay,
Pick up and
so
explain.
basically I'm sitting in church, and in the pews they had these pockets. And I was really, really young. Young elementary school at this point. And they have the pockets where they have like the Bibles and then they have the little like envelopes with the little mini like index cards where you can write prayers and stuff and put it in the envelope and then kiss it and then give it to them or whatever you're supposed to do. So anyway, I would never pay attention because it was, I don't...
It's church. I mean, it's so boring.
Oh, it was incredibly boring. But I knew that we were going to go get amazing lunch afterwards, so that's the only reason. That was my motivation.
Our lunch was always, just real quick, our lunch was like always going to like...
we went to Ryan's.
We went to like Fuddruckers.
We went to that place too.
Like we either went to, I think it was Fuddruckers or like a Rush's or something.
Oh,
or
dude,
Zaxby's. Rush's or Zaxby's.
Zaxby's is such a Sunday lunch place.
Yeah.
When I think Sunday lunch, Zaxby's is like number one. Anyway, all right.
So went there yesterday. It's weird. I haven't been to Zaxby's in like 6 years, and I went there yesterday.
I'm craving Fuddruckers, but continue with
I'm
your
craving
story.
Chick-fil-A, man.
Beezers.
Ooh,
You were mentioning Beezers, and now it's got me on a
dude.
kick. But anyways,
I want
what's your
Beezers
story?
so bad. These are, by the way, listeners, these are all places that are nowhere near us in LA right now.
I forgot that you guys were in LA.
Yeah, no
That's
Zaxby's. The Chick-fil-A is like
There's
miles
a Chick-fil-A
away.
like 40 miles
Dude,
away.
we used to go to Beezer's at like 3 in the morning.
Oh,
And Beezer's would be like 35 minutes away from Ryan's house.
every
night.
night, dude. Every night. Me and Ryan would drive all the way. Ryan, are you sure you're good on gas? I don't care. Drive 30 minutes
It's like an
total.
hour, like there and back, just for one sandwich.
I got into like my just like white privilege douche mode. Whatever my mom pays for my gas.
Dude, I loved hanging out at your place though because we would always. We'd show up at like 11:45 at night, and then just for the next like 7 hours until the sun comes up, it's just a mix of like movies, video games, and just driving to get junk food.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's
Dude,
I miss those nights
I'm seriously
so much.
having withdrawals right now. Like I'm really sad.
It
now.
sucks. Like it's
Thinking about that.
it's gonna sound weird, but like we're a walk away from everything. But like we don't live anywhere where like something's easily 24, open 24 hours.
Yeah,
like
it's
our
surprising.
Kroger's was. Ralph's isn't. It's the same brand, but certain Ralph's are to open 24 hours. But sorry to take everyone back from the story.
Okay, so
you had a story.
So
that
I'm
you were
in
telling.
church and I'm drawing these things. So basically, I always would just draw things, explosions, swords, fucked up things.
Did you ever draw a dick in church?
No,
Come on.
Actually, there was this one kid who always like he would copy me because he was younger than me and looked up to me. I was like, I couldn't.
Jonathan?
I was like 10. No, actually, that was this was before we even moved to that neighborhood that I just moved from. This kid's name was Daniel too. Actually, he was a year younger than me, and he would just copy everything I did because I'm fucking awesome. Anyway, so he would draw too, and I'd draw these like detailed for my age. I thought they were pretty good, like of swords, guns, explosions, just fucked up shit. And he would like draw make like 10 squiggles on a page and just write this, and then he'd turn towards me and be like, "This is my dookie." What? And I'm just like, "Excuse me, there's an artist at work here. Please leave."
That word, like, it's so juvenile to laugh at, but the word dookie is funny.
I mean, he was like saying it through tears. Like he couldn't even like he was laughing so hard. Like that was the capacity of like a 6-year-old's laughter. Was this is my dookie? Fucking kid. Anyway, so I'm drawing this thing, and I started drawing Jesus on the cross.
Oh God!
Because there was a Jesus on the cross at the front of the church. So I was like, all right, well, I want to, practice my still life. So I'm drawing it, but instead I'm like, I get like halfway done and I'm like, well, there's one thing this needs: gore, explosions, and knives. So I decided I scratched the one I started because I'm like, why not start over? I've got so much practice at this point. The second one's going to be 10 times better. So this one I draw from the back. So it's the back of the cross. And you can kind of see Jesus, like his arms, elbows hanging down, and like his feet nailed together at the bottom. But you just see like hundreds of knives like, sticking in him. And like there's like it's like one of like the head part is on fire. And I was just doing because I was like practicing drawing and I liked explosions. There was absolutely no hatred.
There's no like fuck Jesus.
No, absolutely not. I wasn't even old enough to comprehend that, and I don't think I've ever had that thought in my life.
I hope people cut that out later. And it's just a stream of me just fuck Jesus, fuck Jesus.
All right, well, the more we say that, the more likely that is to happen.
Yeah.
But just disclaimer, guys, this is disgusting and terrible, and you probably shouldn't copy anything we're saying if you're under the age of 10.
And listening to this podcast.
Listening to this podcast at 10. If you're listening to this podcast at 10, you've already made some bad choices.
That's what we gotta say there.
But yeah, so my mom, of course, turns over and sees that and snatches it out of my hand and like freaks out in the middle of church and assumes that her kid is like possessed or something. and then the story really doesn't really end very like or excitingly because we just went to Ryan's and we all forgot about it and I ate sausage.
Did I ever tell you guys that I was like back when I was like religious and everything and in a youth group, I did an interpretive dance as Jesus for the whole congregation. For the whole congregation, there's this like dance thing and it was like choreographed and everything, and my youth pastor wanted me to play Jesus. So there was at one point in my life where I was in an interpretive dance as Jesus and the whole congregation got to see. I had to perform it twice, one for early service and late service.
Oh, that is
That's something that I have done.
It's funny. It's not the idea because a lot of people could do that and it's okay in their church because that's what they believe. But it's you doing it. Knowing you now, knowing
just picture current Ryan doing
the ball
like they were
of,
fluid
of cynical sarcasm, like doing that now without busting out laughing is the hardest.
Just
thing
imagine me like
imagine.
straight face, just
yeah.
I'm dancing if you can't see.
And like really feeling it.
Yeah,
not
no,
just,
but like I was
faking it.
seriously into it. Like for some reason in this interpretive dance. I had to slow dance with some chick. I don't know why Jesus was slow dancing with some chick, but apparently that's what they wanted out of it. But I just remember, like, I was so proud. I was like, I'm a performer. And my family came to see me, and of course they were probably just like, why the fuck am I watching this? Thanks, Mrs. Not even Mrs. McGee. Mrs. Thank you. Mrs. Grimes. Mrs. Grimes.
For those who don't know, that's funny because parents
are divorced.
Hey, Ryan,
thank you. I didn't say that.
tell a story.
What story?
Oh, Ryan, one of my favorite things about Ryan is that you say some fucked up stuff about your mom. Ryan, one of Ryan's favorite things to do is to make other people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To make other people feel uncomfortable so that you can laugh at them being uncomfortable.
I love my mom. I don't hate her. I love her.
You have a great relationship
you do.
with your mom.
Honestly, you're probably closer with your mom than like anyone I've like seen be close to their mom. Like you have a
but not in a weird way. Not in a weird way. Not like Norman Bates.
Not like you like licking your mom's vagina or anything.
Thank you, Gray.
No, but like that's like a perfect example. Like Ryan will say that kind of shit about his own mom, and it's off. I hope your mom hears this and hears what you say to your friends.
She listened to the podcast the other day and heard me reference her as like a porn star, and like I thought she would be whatever, but I think like oddly enough she was like, that's cool that my son thinks of me in this way. Like I am a young spirit.
Like a sense of confidence.
Like she gained like a sense of confidence. It was kind of proud. Like maybe I could have in another life.
Well, that's the most positive way.
Ryan will just like, what would you like be playing video games? And Ryan will just turn to you and be like, would you fuck my mom?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it's like. And in the beginning, I mean, it still makes me laugh almost as much as it did when he first started doing it. But when he first started doing it, like when he pulled that out, that was like 10 minutes of solid laughter for me.
I miss like just the incredibly uncomfortable like humor of both of y'all. Of just that, like that's what I love about y'all's videos, is because I feel like y'all's sense of humor and like the sense of humor that I share with y'all like comes across so well in those videos, because it's just how far can we go? How uncomfortable can we make people?
Yeah. It's not even like shock humor at some point. It's really just, can we just make them uncomfortable?
Yeah.
We just want to make you uncomfortable.
And that's just fucking hilarious. Like, I love that type of humor. I think that's one of the reasons why, like, one of my favorite shows of all time is The Office. Just like,
yes.
And like, I went back and watched, like, they really toned down, like, the make you feel uncomfortable towards the later seasons. Like, I say, like, season 1 through 4, like, the make you feel as uncomfortable as possible was, like, super high. I actually watched the entire first season the other day, and it was weird because it's shot so differently. Like, it's just much darker lighting.
It's so short.
It's really short. It's just a much darker lighting. Steve Carell's balding. It's so weird. So it almost like added to the uncomfortableness of watching it, because I knew that like this was not the Office that I was used to. But
yeah,
they used to have especially like in the first 3 episodes, they would have just like shots of people of like something awkward has just happened, and they'll have shots that last 15 seconds of people just not saying anything. It's just silence of people just sitting there feeling uncomfortable, and I'm like, I love this. It's so awesome. Just because like you're like, okay, when's it gonna end? When's it gonna end? And you start feeling so bad about it that you just start laughing, and I love it.
I think like my 2 favorite like awkward Office moments are probably when Steve Carell's character Michael kisses what's his name?
Oscar.
Oscar, when he kisses Oscar. Like,
dude.
There's that one
that wasn't even scripted.
And the
it wasn't?
No, that wasn't scripted.
No way, dude. Yeah. That's so awesome, man.
And the most uncomfortable I've ever been in a TV show is when he started the scholarship.
Damn it! Oh, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, dude, that's the worst. That is like
Scott's
like
tots.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude! And he just can't.
What you gonna do? Make our dreams come true? Oh my god! Well, explain the episode.
Well, the episode basically, I stumble over my words easily. I figure, could anybody else do it? Because I feel like I'll stumble.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I mean, to explain the exact situation, basically, he decided to send a bunch of kids to, what was it? Was it college, or was it just like?
Yeah,
it was college. Yeah.
Whenever they were in kindergarten and he had just started being a manager at Dunder Mifflin, he went to the school and promised them that if they graduated, he would pay for their entire college tuition. And he said his reasoning was because he thought that by the time that they were graduating, which was like 12 years down the road, he thought he'd be a millionaire. And he was just so not. And so he went to their high school, and they're all just like singing to him, just like saying thank you. And they put on this huge production.
It's like, you made our dreams come true.
You made our dreams come true. Like, you changed my whole life. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to go to college. And he's just sitting there just knowing that he's about to have to tell them. And then he goes and stands up and he's like, surprise, I can't send you to college. And oh my god.
But I can give you these laptop batteries. Like, he gives them batteries for laptops. Not even laptops, because they're like, we each get laptops? No, these are batteries for your laptops.
God.
Oh man. I love, one of my other favorite episodes is the one where he goes on the date and Pam and Jim set him up with this chick.
Yes.
Dude, that's the best. Oh, it's so funny, because as soon as he finds out, like, he's doing great when he doesn't know. But as soon as they let him know, like, he goes out and, like, unbuttons his shirt, puts on a leather jacket and, like, a shitty, like, beret, and just goes back in and, like, dances on the pool table, and it's just...
Just like this asshole.
I mean,
he's like, hi, I'm Date Mike. I like your eggs in the morning. Oh my
god. And then he does that smirk at the camera. I think that is some of the absolute best, like, comedic acting.
Yes,
that is legendary.
Michael Scott is one of the best characters on television.
Oh, absolutely.
When he left in season 8, like I had low expectations, and like I kind of struggled through season 8, but I really feel like they found their stride without Michael in season 9.
They did. I think they did too.
Yeah, people like to complain about it a lot, but I have to agree. Yeah, like, I thought the show even got just as funny as the earlier seasons.
You have to treat it as something separate.
Season 8, they tried to do too much without Steve Carell. I feel like they tried to overcompensate. Like, I liked James Spader's Robert California, but I felt like he was overwhelming at points.
the thing that was overwhelming for me was Dwight's farm. Like the
It was
episodes
supposed to be another show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think it was supposed to be a spinoff, but just like they had maybe there weren't that many episodes on the farm, but like everything on the farm just wasn't that funny. Like it just
the writing was just falling off.
And it was just season 9. They got rid of Robert California. They got rid of James Spader. They made the redheaded British chick. I don't remember her name. They made her a lot more tolerable.
Yeah,
They really did. And then like I don't know. And it was weird because Andy or Ed Helms had to go off to film The Hangover. I think it was Hangover 2, and so he wasn't in most of that season. And so, but I think that was a good thing because they were focusing too much time on people that weren't important. And really, even though like the show was always about Michael, Jim, Pam, and Dwight. And so without Michael, they tried to bring in all these other characters. But season 9, they really focused on Jim and Pam and their relationship, and they really focused on like on Dwight as well. And so like what I loved was seeing Jim and Pam struggle. And like it made it into like a real relationship.
Yeah, we're getting in spoiler zone here, so we should.
I won't spoil anything, but I will say that like they made it seem like it was like a real relationship and not just like I don't know, just like this perfect couple that can have nothing go wrong.
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved it. There was one particular episode that I know we all agree on, so the listeners have no idea what we're talking about. Actually, it's funny. So there was this one episode that aired during season 9, and it had this crazy ending. And
I know. Is it the
you
one
know exactly what I'm talking about?
Involves Pam.
It does involve Pam.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about. So I actually saw that on TV, and immediately after, the same night, I had been surfing Facebook, and one of my friends posted like this link to like check out this new tattoo I'm going to get, and I clicked on it, and it was a picture of Jeff the Killer screaming at me, and I threw my headphones. And so the link was like something.jpg. It was amazing the way this link was disguised. It didn't look like anything.
And we started sending it to a lot of people.
So what I did was post it as a status. I was like, oh my God, like behind the scenes footage of them filming the last episode.
I remember that. I remember that Facebook status.
And a bunch of people clicked on it because a lot of my friends watched The Office, and they were all so pissed. I showed Ryan that night. And he ran away. We both ran from the computer.
Dude, so I totally fell for that. I remember that specific Facebook status. That's weird.
Yeah, and you said you were talking about Robert California. Guess what new movie he's in? As
fucking Avengers, dude.
Yeah, as Ultron, Age of Ultron. He has the perfect like villainous voice.
Because he's just, I mean, everything he says is you're scared of what he's going to say next. And like, that's why I really did like Robert California as a character. I thought they spent too much time on him, but whatever.
Yeah,
I like Robert California as a character, basically just because I like James Spader.
Yeah,
just because he says things and he has your attention like undividedly. No matter everything he's saying, you are paying attention to it. You're hanging on his every word.
He could have been president if not an actor.
The only other person that I feel like can do that is Kevin Spacey. Like, I feel like Kevin Spacey.
I was about to say
him.
Yeah, he's one of the only other actors that I can listen. Like every time he speaks, I listen to him like with my undivided attention.
I'd love to see him on House of Cards, James Spader. I think
Spader?
He would be a good like kind of antagonist type character, or maybe an ally for Kevin Spacey's character. But anyways, TV shows.
Yeah, have you guys watched Blacklist?
No, I haven't watched it.
One of my friends really likes Blacklist, but is it good?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I saw one episode on TV, and I just thought I couldn't get over the way they shot it. But that was just me being nitpicky about the way they shot it. I didn't really pay attention to the formula of the writing, but that's apparently where all the gold is in that show is the writing formula. It's kind of the same. It's kind of like the House thing where it's really interesting, and even though you kind of know. Well, there are a lot of twists in the Blacklist. I can't say that. But it's funny, like, I don't want to get off the Blacklist if you had something to say. I don't want to stray away from that topic, but...
I was going to go off talking about shooting things.
I
recently started watching American Horror Story. It is one of the... It's one of my... It's
don't say it.
Here's a battle.
Don't say it, dude.
Say it.
Don't say what you're going to say.
Say it.
Just say it.
I think I love the way it's shot.
No! There we go!
Yes,
dude, come
I love
on. Oh.
Do you hate it?
Fucking...
He asked his headphones came out again.
Every time I freak out, my
headphones... Unplugging your damn headphones.
Dude, I can't stand that show.
Are you serious?
I have to pee. I'll be right back.
Stand that show.
Okay, Daniel and I will have this argument.
Oh,
dude,
dude. I cannot
holy shit. Why don't you like it?
And probably... I'm going to get a lot of flack for this because everybody loves American Horror Story. I don't know. It's just like the right... Okay, all right. What season did you watch?
I watched the first two.
Okay, I haven't seen the second season, so I can't speak for that. But I've seen the full first season, and I've seen 90% of the third season.
Okay.
I think I skipped a couple episodes. Anyway, and I have to preface this with it's probably got I probably dislike it too because of the surrounding situation that has nothing to do with the actual show. It's like the fact that I didn't like it from the beginning, and like I was made to watch it with my ex-girlfriend at the time. Like she just wanted to sit down and watch it. Like this is the show we had to watch whenever we were like hanging out. So I don't like to be forced to watch things because that doesn't make me like them, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, so my grief with this show is, or my gripe, what gripes about this show? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Brian's dick.
I don't even want to know. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so my biggest complaints, first of all, the writing is miserable. Like I cannot stand.
I could not disagree more.
Dude, I
Holy
cannot
shit,
stand
I love
the
writing.
I mean, it's like twisty, but it's like so. I just think it's so cheesy, and I think that like the way it's shot, it's like oh man, how can I make this look better? Oh, I'll just tilt the camera until you're like nauseated, like, and you can't. I don't like it, man. I just don't.
I absolutely love the way that it's shot because it just there are so many. I will say one thing that I will like. One thing to like your point that I can say is there were some times that they would try some weird thing with a shot that didn't work. I can agree with that. There were some shots that just flat out didn't work, but like I love the creative way that it was shot. Like instead of filming like this, the first 5 seconds of this scene as just like a tripod shot, they'd film it through the reflection of a doorknob, or they would film it as like a bird's eye view as if you're looking down from the ceiling, or they would film it like through a mirror and you would think it's like the actual scene. But then something would happen, and it would flip around, and it's not. It's just, I really loved it. There were some points.
There are diamonds in the rough for sure. Like there were moments where I was like, that was shot well. But
I'm not
overall,
sure if this was mentioned, but I've only had 2 experiences with American Horror Story. I've never seen a full episode, but the first experience was I didn't even know I was watching American Horror Story until I turned back to the channel and was like, now back to American Horror Story. It was the same soundtrack as Insidious.
Yeah, the first season has the same soundtrack. That killed me.
So I thought it was like it was a trailer for Insidious or something. And all of a sudden I looked, like, this isn't. What is this? This is dumb. Why this is. I thought it was Insidious at first, or a trailer or something. So then I just switched channels. Then another time I watched it, I don't know if I can talk about this scene. It's from the first season. Have you seen the first season, Gray?
I have.
I don't know if the listeners have or not.
If it's spoilerish, I wouldn't say it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spoilers.
How long has it been on air, though?
It's on its 4th season right now.
It's been on for.
It's on. The 4th season just ended, and they're in the middle of filming the 5th season.
So something from 4 years ago just can't be spoiled right now. I'm guessing probably. I don't know, but it was this. I'm not gonna say what character.
All right. Here's what we're gonna say. If you don't want to listen to this part,
skip forward 2
minutes.
Skip
ahead, and you might skip exactly on the word.
But okay. Anyways,
Go for it.
I actually love this scene because I've never seen TV really go this far before. Like. It was the school shooting scene. I'm not going to mention any characters or anything. But it was brutal. It was like
one of the most fucked up scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I'm like, it went that far, and like I respected it, like because Walking Dead goes far with gore, but it's also like cartoonish gore. You can argue, just because it's like over the top. But this was like very realistic. Like a girl, I remember her. She was peeing herself under a table, and I was like, Jesus Christ! Like it was a fucked up scene, and I was like, maybe I'd like this show. Then I just never started watching.
And the thing about that scene is. It's like the 7th episode of the season of the season. And if you had context for that scene, it'd be a lot. For me, it was a lot more impactful. Daniel, you can understand because of the circumstances surrounding it, and there was a lot of mystery surrounding it. And so, like that's kind of a scene that we knew was coming, that we just didn't know what was going to happen.
I have a question. Since I didn't mention a character's name, was that like spoilerish? Like, was it like
it would have been spoilerish? It would have been spoilerish if you had mentioned the character's name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of TV shows, I know we all love Breaking Bad. Like,
the
3 of us, Breaking Bad's one of our favorite shows.
We haven't seen Better Call Saul. We know you have.
The season finale of Better Call Saul comes on tonight. Better Call Saul. Fucking awesome! You guys are really missing out for not watching it.
I'm scared to see it because I don't want it to tarnish any reputation that Breaking Bad has. If you make a show in the same universe, it has the ability to just ruin how you look at the show previously.
I totally agree with you.
And the characters that were placed into it.
I went into it very afraid. Very, very afraid. I had high hopes because it was Vince Gilligan, and he was the guy who created Breaking Bad is the same guy, and basically was kind of the showrunner throughout.
Writer for X-Files.
And by kind of, I mean yes. And so he created this, and he's a showrunner for this, and he's one of the lead writers. And it not only does justice to Breaking Bad, it builds on the universe and makes me appreciate Breaking Bad even more. And I would say that it has some of the same characters. I'm very excited to see where it's going to go. But it does not... There are many times when I'm not even thinking about Walter White. When I'm watching the show, I don't give a shit about Walter White. Because Walter White... the show is set about 8 years before the events of Season 1 of Breaking Bad.
Okay.
And you don't think about Walter White. You don't think about Breaking Bad. The only reason that I think about Breaking Bad is because some of the same characters are the same. Right now, I care about James McGill. He's not even Saul Goodman. That's not his name yet. His name is James McGill, and he goes by like Jimmy McGill. I care about him just as much as I cared about Walter White while watching Breaking Bad. And so right now, I'm not even really watching a Breaking Bad universe story. It feels like I'm watching the story of James McGill, and it's an amazing story.
Answer this question. Breaking Bad had a lot of holy fuck factors, like big, like holy fuck. Like I'm not talking about like minor, like oh wow, I didn't see that coming. Oh, wow. But like holy shit, they went there. This happened. How is the show going to move on from this? How is this character going to react in the next season or anything like that?
That happened at the end of last. That was the last episode. It was the episode right before the season finale.
We should watch it, dude. We should watch it together.
Let's watch it together. The only thing I'm
and
like,
I will say, there was go for it.
Go ahead.
Basically, I was like, it's just we already know what characters are in Breaking Bad. Like I'm not spoiling anything. You got Saul Goodman. He's not Saul Goodman apparently in this. Jimmy McGill or whatever. And Mike. I know he's in it. But it's like. I hope they don't put those characters in some sort of peril where it's like, will they make it out or not? Because then it would kind of be like, well, duh, they're gonna fucking make it out.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
Okay,
it hasn't happened where it's like, will they make it out? There's a lot of stuff that happens where it's kind of like, actually, there kind of was one moment like that, but they did it in a way where I wasn't feeling like, will he make it out?
Yeah,
I was feeling like I'm so excited to see what's going to happen.
I don't mind the characters in peril because just the situation that he's in and Mike's job, they're going to be in peril. But I just don't because shows can purposely set up things to where it's like. Next time, will Saul Goodman live? They can set it up to where it would come off like that, and I just hope they don't pull a lot of that stuff because we already know the story.
Yeah,
I think Vince Gilligan probably had that taken care of. Like he already had that thought cross his mind. But hopefully, when it hits Netflix, they don't have the spoiling thumbnail complex.
Fuck that shit. I hate that.
Well, it spoiled something big for me. I think it was The Office. It spoiled something in The Office. I remember.
It was. That show's 10 years old at this point. Jim and Pam kissing for the first time.
Yeah,
it showed that.
Yeah, it fucking showed it, dude.
It showed that, and then also for Friends, a 20-year-old show, it showed the first time that Ross and Rachel kissed. And it's just like, if you hadn't seen that when Hayden was watching that, it spoiled it for her.
God,
like, what the fuck?
Bullshit. Yeah, so anyway, Netflix. Get your fucking shit together. Come on.
Make the thumbnails like episode 1, episode 2,
or just skip like 10 frames before that. Come on, or after or something. Just change a different part of the fucking
Come on. Another cool thing about Better Call Saul is that it focuses almost entirely on James McGill.
Yeah.
And but
Jimmy
McGill's sometimes, but Mike is actually kind of important in this series as well.
I like Mike.
Yeah, and so we get a lot of backstory for Mike, and I will say there was one episode that was kind of Mike centered, and if any of the listeners have seen Better Call Saul, they know exactly the episode I'm talking about. It was kind of a Mike centered episode, and I hate like comparing Better Call Saul to Breaking Bad because I think I'm trying to look at them as two separate shows and not compare them. Otherwise, Better Call Saul will never live up to Breaking Bad. But I will say this one episode. If I had to put the two together, I'd say it'd be on list of best episodes ever. Like going like toe to toe with good episodes of Breaking Bad.
I think the best episode of Breaking Bad was Ozymandias or however you pronounce that.
But it's best episode. Honestly, my opinion, best episode of television ever. I feel like Breaking Bad at this point is probably not my number one TV show. My number one TV show is probably Game of Thrones.
I was about to say Lost.
Game of Thrones, really?
I need to get back.
Down the list
I need to get back to Game of Thrones. I remember we watched. I watched up to episode 6 of season 1, and then I stopped. I know you got into season 2 a little bit, Daniel.
Yeah. What's your favorite? Gray just said his favorite all-time show. What's yours, Ryan?
My all-time favorite show? Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be any surprise, but it's probably in between The Office and Breaking Bad. Those are just two perfect shows.
You could probably guess mine.
Oh, actually, no, never mind. I could guess
probably
yours?
Guess mine. Yeah.
Is it one of the ones that I just mentioned?
No.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm gonna try and guess then. Your favorite TV show that's not Breaking Bad is it House of Cards?
Nah.
It stumbled in this third season, I'd say. Like it took a step back.
House of Cards did?
Yeah, hopefully.
I thought it was still great. I mean,
hopefully
I thought
build
season 2 took a stumbled. I thought season 3 brought it back together. Season 2 was hard to follow.
Season 1's the best
just because I'm stupid.
But your favorite TV show?
Ryan, you guess. I already guessed. I got wrong.
I'm trying to think of TV shows. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
Shows that are on television.
Oh, Tim and Eric.
Changed my life. That's actually number 2.
Oh, wow.
Okay, what's number 1?
Louis. Louis.
Yeah.
What you just showed me. Okay. What Daniel showed me, we watched all of season 4 of Louis on Netflix. We just went all through it in one night. It is one of the best seasons of a TV show I have ever seen. It is so fucking good.
That's all.
Louis is such a good show.
Dude, Louis will be up in your top 5 at least.
If I had to
watch it, my god, yeah, dude.
Like if I had to pick like a top 5, not in any order because it's hard to place things in order sometimes. Definitely, Louis would be in there. The Office, Breaking Bad. I know
I'm the exact same.
I still think I have to go back, but Robot Chicken maybe they're just for old times.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah,
wow.
I love Robot Chicken and possibly I'm
fucking
trying to
love
think.
Mythbusters too. I've seen like every episode of Mythbusters.
Dude,
Not the
you know
new
what my shit is? This is like. I guess I can throw in a little like non-linear, non-narrative show, which Daniel kind of did with Mythbusters. Motherfucking Chopped is one of the best shows.
Dude, Chopped is awesome.
Is Chopped the one where they have to take different ingredients and make a meal? Oh, I love that show.
It's like Iron Chef. It's kind of like Iron Chef.
Iron Chef is great, but essentially it's like here's a basket with 4 items that kind of go together, but don't really. Like make the best dish you can in an hour, and then it's just this competition. It's unbelievable. It's the perfect game show. I really do.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a bunch of very, very talented people competing to be the best at what they personally believe they're the best at. And then it's just figuring out what they can do with these just crazy things. And it's so good. And I've seen episodes where it's like, they'll have leftover baskets where it'll be like old pizza or like cold spaghetti or shit like that. And they have to make this into some delicious gourmet dish. And it's it's so simple and so effective.
Is it on Netflix?
No,
because I know some shows like that are.
Actually,
on
I think the first season is on Netflix, which is stupid because there's 8 seasons.
Yeah, how long do you want to go on?
Oh, we can keep going forever.
Okay.
I saw the Sleepy Cabin podcast was 2 hours long.
Yeah,
so we could cap it in like an hour 30.
Yeah,
probably my favorite. But the podcast that I'm really into is the Rooster Teeth podcast.
You got me into that, yeah.
Yeah, I got Ryan into that, and it was like my first introduction to like a podcast format, which was why I was so excited to hear y'all's.
Yep.
The Rooster Teeth podcast is great. I've been listening. They've got about 300, and they just released their 317th episode, and I've listened to all but episodes 20 through 50. I've been listening to it for the past 2 years, and their podcasts sometimes run from between 30 minutes and 2 hours and 15 minutes. So it's kind of like just if they have more content to talk about, a lot of times they'll keep going, and it works. So
yeah. I mean, we should just keep it going.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Game of Thrones, dude, I really you guys need to get back on it because season 5 is coming on next Sunday.
I know so many spoilers for that show. It's ridiculous.
It's such a bummer. I
don't know
nothing.
any.
The one thing that still has not been ruined for me is Red Wedding.
Yes,
that still hasn't been ruined for me. Whatever that is.
The title can be just the name of that spoiler can be almost kind of a spoiler because if you're looking out for it, you can almost guess where it happens. Even if you don't
I
know
have
what
a sense of what's going on, but I have a feeling it's not so much as the event, but what happens during the event.
You have to have context. You could know the event, and it would mean absolutely nothing to you.
Yeah.
But I would say what I love about that show is something that The Walking Dead kind of does. They've kind of fallen off on it recently.
Are you talking like unpredictability?
Yeah, I mean they don't give a fuck about what you think is going to happen. Or
They do now. They do now.
Yeah, exactly.
The Walking Dead does now. They of course, they're going to keep Daryl. They're going to,
they're not going to, like, here's the thing about, I'm not going to spoil anything. In The Walking Dead, I have no fear that Rick is going to die. I have no fear.
Even though they're like, we wouldn't have a problem
Thrones,
killing Rick. Ooh.
Yeah. In Game of Thrones, there is not a single character I can list that I could say I'm confident is not going to die. Never mind. I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah.
But there's not a single character that I don't think is going to die. And the thing about it is not just going to die. Like, whenever I watch the show, like, something will happen, and I will think, I am, like, conditioned to think about TV shows in a way where if all this stuff is happening towards an event, that event is going to happen. Or if, like, all this crazy stuff has happened, if there's, like, main characters, like, that are very, very prevalent, or stuff like that, like, you kind of can see where the TV show is going to go, and almost 99% of TV shows go there. Game of Thrones don't give a fuck about that. Game of Thrones will do something like that, and you'll think one way, and then something will happen, and it'll just completely end 4 major plot lines you've been following forever. One thing will happen, and it'll fucking shut it down. And, like, it'll have those moments. Like, I've never had a moment like in Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones does this, where something will happen, and in my mind, I'm literally like, what do they do? Like, they have fucked themselves. The show where does the show go at this point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love that. I really, really love that.
It's highly recommended that you guys watch every single one of these shows. Somehow find time in your life to watch all these shows.
So let's say, what have we listed so far? We listed Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad,
Office,
Louis,
The Office, Louis, yeah.
House of Cards.
House of Cards. Mentioned Tim and Eric, which is great.
Yeah.
Watch Tim and Eric if you want to pretty much see where we rip all of our ideas off from.
I mean, that's like Cyndágo's brand. Like, that sense of humor is so inspired from Tim and Eric.
Another show you introduced me to, which I would definitely say for everyone to check out, is Portlandia. I've fallen in love with that show. It's just smart.
Yeah. It's just so smart. And it's perfect for the whole, like, hipster Portland culture. Like, they nailed it. Like, I have a friend who just moved to Portland like a year ago or so now. Wow, it's been a while. And,
was Jeremy?
Jeremy, yeah. Jeremy lives in Portland now, and he pretty much, like, he sends Snapchats all the time of people that are just, like, Portlandish.
Yeah. Just being like Fred Armisen.
Just being Portland. And that's what they're being.
Continuing the list, you said Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Yes, Better Call Saul. Walking Dead. As much as we kind of just,
Season 1 of The Walking Dead.
What?
Maybe up till season 2. I think it really starts going downhill. Like, for season 3 and 4.
Season 5 is best season of Walking Dead so far. I mean, I think it's way better than season 1. I think season 5. Like, Walking Dead. I love season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck season 2. Hated season 2. Season 3 was pretty good. Season 4, I thought it was, like, coming back. I felt like the new showrunner was like, bad. I gotta clean up all this shit.
See, I thought, like,
season 5, unbelievable. Season 5, so good.
See, nothing will ever beat the first episode of The Walking Dead for me, because Frank Darabont was behind the camera, and it didn't feel like a show. It felt like a movie. He filmed it like it was a movie. And when I'm paying attention to The Walking Dead now, it does seem like it is filmed more like, TV show. There are on, like, a stricter budget and stuff. But I could go on a rant about that all day. But I just Frank Darabont, he directed Green Mile and The Shawshank Redemption, I believe. And he really did kind of make a little mini movie of the first episode of The Walking Dead. It was just kind of like a good, fun zombie movie to watch.
I feel like, definitely a lot of pilots are like that, especially for big shows like that. I know Lost did it.
Yeah.
A lot of pilots almost have to make their first episode feel that way, because it's possible that they'll never get picked up. And so, like, it could have possibly... Like, I know the first episode of Lost is, to this day, the most expensive episode of television ever made, because they actually bought a fucking Boeing 747 and then destroyed
those are like
it.
$500 and something million.
Yeah. I don't know how much it was, but I know it was an outrageous amount of money. It is so much more expensive than the number 2 most expensive episode of television show. It's not even funny. But they originally wanted to make the first episode into they just wanted to keep it as a short film, or not even a short film, but like a movie that kind of just ends. But they ended up going on a TV show that was good for a while, and then was not good for a while. I gotta admit, Lost was one of my favorite TV shows for a while. I went back and watched it, and it doesn't really hold up as much as I thought it would.
Yeah,
it's kind of a bummer. Once I hit season 4, I was just like,
because remember,
I didn't even finish it. Like it's not as good as I used to think it was.
I remember you were like, yeah, it's better than Breaking Bad. Yeah, I'd still say Lost is definitely, one of my favorite show. And I was like, really? And I was confused by it. I never saw it, but like I never heard, that great of things about it, like better than Breaking Bad, especially this was in the last season. Everything was like coming together and it was wonderful. But yeah, so now you just take that back. You just no.
I take it back. I really do. Well, I take it back because I was going off of memories from when I watched it in 9th grade.
Yeah.
And I went back because Hayden decided to give it a try, so I went back and watched it last semester, and doesn't hold up. It just does not hold up to what I thought.
So going back to Walking Dead, I'm sure you guys heard that Stephen King is apparently going to be writing for them.
No,
yeah, that was an April Fool's joke.
That was fucking April Fool's.
Yeah, I know. I was super bummed out.
I don't care. Like I don't have any heart in that, but I was like hoping you guys.
No, trust me, I would have loved it, dude. Stephen King can write shit like that so well, but.
I'm excited kind of for the spin-off. But like the spin-off it has the dumbest name ever. It's called Fear the Walking Dead.
That's terrible.
And the only reason that I'm like excited for the spin-off is because it's in LA, like it's in California, and I'm interested to just see like the locale that they choose, like being like, oh, I've passed that. Hey, I live here now. Yay!
I feel like it'd just be cool to see like the beginning of the apocalypse, because we've got the view of like the apocalypse has already happened and like a lot of people are already dead, and like this is like the aftermath, which I love from The Walking Dead. But it would be nice to get that how it started.
That's what kind of like I liked about The Walking Dead. It wasn't like it was almost the same thing as the movie The Road. Like it doesn't have to explain what happened. Dude. It doesn't have to explain shit. It's just like this happened. Now let's tell our story. Like that's what I liked about it. If you don't know what The Road is a book by Cormac McCarthy. It's my favorite book. You should definitely go read it. Book. It's also a movie. I think it followed the book pretty well.
Great movie.
Yeah, I should just check it out. But the thing about The Road that made it so great is there's this apocalyptic event, but like this all takes place after it, so it's just like the book. I think it goes out of its way to be like, what caused it? Was it a nuclear thing? Was it a war? I don't know.
No fucking idea.
But it doesn't fucking matter now because all we're doing is just trying to survive. And I just like the whole aspect of just, don't put too much emphasis on what happened, because people are like, just, it was a nuclear war, but then what kind of nuclear war?
Speaking of like apocalypse related things, have y'all ever heard of the movie Snowpiercer?
Yes, I've seen it.
No,
I have not seen it, but it's interesting because I read the graphic novel, and the graphic novel was it was a French graphic novel that was written in 1982, and it didn't get translated into English until 2014, and it's funny because it was and the director kind of basically just took the whole concept, but he didn't do any sort of plot or storyline from the graphic novel. He made his own. I'm very excited to see it. But it's funny because it's a French graphic novel. No, it's a movie with an American lead by a South Korean director based on a French graphic novel. So it's like crosses so many cultures, but it's really cool. Daniel, have you ever heard of it?
No, I haven't.
It's an interesting movie. It's interesting. I wouldn't say I loved it. It's not like in my top list of movies.
I really liked the graphic novel. I liked it. Basically, it's a cool concept. It's like there's this like train that it's like mastered like perpetual motion, so it'll never stop, and it's just kind of like plowing through this like icy like winter nuclear apocalypse
tundra,
and like a tundra, and like the last people alive on Earth are in this train trying to survive, and it's like a really cool commentary on the class system. Yeah,
because it's separated by classes, So like
the further up the train you go, the higher the classes get, and like the people in the back of the train are like living in like the ghetto, and it's really cool.
Yeah. That's it. That's interesting. That reminds me of an episode of Top Gear where they like make a train but the engine is a car. You ever watch Top Gear, Gray?
No, I don't.
You and I got in a binge when we first got here.
Yeah. You would love
the British Top Gear?
Yes. Yeah, Top Gear, it's amazing because all they're doing is like it's essentially Mythbusters but only cars. So they're always okay, basically they had this one episode where they had to pick 3 military vehicles and they raced a demolition team to knock down a building. Like they each had a building the same size, and each of the 3, and they're so funny. They are they're all genius. They're all super witty. And they have like a news section where they talk about cars, and they're always making fun of each other. But apparently one of the dudes just got kicked off the show.
Yeah, he did.
Bigger one.
He punched one of the producers.
Yeah. Because apparently the story goes like there wasn't like the food was cold or something.
Hot, yeah.
It wasn't hot after a long day of shooting.
they didn't have a hot meal for him, and so he like raged and punched him.
There's got to be something else.
So.
Definitely,
You gotta have a fucking meal. I mean, come on.
There's something else behind that. Like, I
back.
can't believe like it was just because of a cold meal that he would punch someone. There has to be like some like
it made me think about like whenever you hear like your little sister tell a story, or Ryan, and,
my stepsister and my two stepbrothers that I don't talk to anymore,
or that I didn't know you had until like last year.
Wow, you didn't know I? Oh yeah.
I would say it's kind of like when you hear a story from somebody and it's like, yeah, my teacher was so dumb, he failed me because he doesn't like me. You're like, there's obviously something more there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But back to Snowpiercer. That's like a post-apocalyptic type of thing. But there's another post-apocalyptic thing coming out soon, mid-May. I think May 15th. Mad Max Fury Road. Yeah. I'm excited for that. It looks exactly like Fast and Furious. Furious 7. I didn't like it at all. It was bad.
Really?
Yeah. It's like that's a fun action movie, but it was so dumb. But like you don't have to be stupid to make an action movie. Like you and I love Dredd, and Dredd isn't like it's self-aware.
So good.
Yeah, it's self-aware of it being an action movie, like a big action movie. The same can be said with self-aware. I'm trying to think of another like big action movie that's like kind of done that I was excited about.
I really like
Zombieland, Pacific Rim.
Love Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim, and I really hope like Mad Max Fury Road just looks like it's just that kind of action movie, and I hope it's somewhat aware of what it is, and it doesn't have the cheesy dialogue that Furious 7 had. I know we already went on a rant about Furious 7, but yeah.
I know that one of the reasons I love Dredd. Daniel, did you ever see Dredd? Can you hear me?
No, I didn't. It looked dumb, so I didn't watch it, but apparently it's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. One of the reasons I love Dredd is because a thing that I hear a lot of people say that I just flat out don't agree with is when people say that like action movies are supposed to be fun, and even if they're dumb,
turn your brain off.
Yeah, it's okay. You're just supposed to just mindlessly watch, and that's stupid. I don't think you should ever mindlessly watch any sort of anything, and say that it's like it's quality because you don't have to think. I feel like you can still make stuff like that and think. What I loved about Dredd is, like you said, it was very self-aware. It wasn't trying to hide the fact that it was an action movie
or corny with corny lines,
like Transformers.
Yeah,
I feel like it wasn't trying to hide the fact that it was an action movie. It was embracing the fact that it was an action movie, but it was making it. It was making it well written. It was intelligent. There were some witty moments, and it just like I there were times when I had to think, and there were times whenever I was like in awe of like some of the things. Like they have this one effect that's really cool. And actually, speaking of Rooster Teeth, Gavin, who's also a member of the
slow motion scene.
Slow-mo guys. He shot the slow motion in this movie. It's really cool. They have this drug that you take the drug and it makes the entire world appear like really bright and in slow motion to the person who's using it. And so they utilize that in some really cool ways. And one of the most gruesome deaths I've ever seen, and it's not really a spoiler, they give somebody this drug to make them see in slow motion for a while, and then they throw them off a building.
So they know they're dying.
And it takes them like hours to hit the ground because he's seeing it in slow motion, and so in his head he knows that he is going to die, and he just has to like accept it for like hours. And it's one of the most just brutal, dark things, like dark deaths I've ever seen. And it's like that's not mindless like that. You think about that, you know what I mean? And they do it well, and
the gore is amazing in it.
He clicked one of the favorite things that Ryan and I flipped out.
We cringed at this.
He karate chops this guy's throat, and it shows his like caved in Adam's apple.
Yeah, it just shows it just cave in like and it just.
Oh, one of the most horrible things.
I thought it was like is it like based in the future?
Yeah.
It's like it's almost. Like
it looked like RoboCop or something.
It's almost like the same thing in that they are longboards.
It's got the same general plot structure.
Dredd was I can't remember back in the 80s or 70s or something.
Still Sylvester Stallone.
It was Sylvester Stallone.
That's why nobody really. That's why nobody really
gave. Show. Or was it a movie?
The Judge was a movie, I believe.
I thought it was a movie. It might have been a TV show.
But I just remember the famous line of it. Yeah, I am the law.
And so the thing is, since that movie was so universally hated, nobody really gave Dredd like a chance. But we watched it because I'd heard a lot on Reddit that it was actually awesome, and so Ryan and I gave it a chance. It was just as awesome as everyone said it was.
Yeah, I'm glad that they never like did a callback to the old Dredd where it was like where he just goes, "I am the law." I'm like, thank you for not doing that, because a lot of movies and a lot of like remakes tend to want to do callbacks that just seem out of place.
Yeah,
like I'll even go as far as to say even what are they called? Cameos by who's the Marvel guy? Who's the Marvel guy?
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. Whenever he makes a camel.
he just makes a camel.
He just boom, spontaneously makes a
I'm
camel.
old at this point, man. Like, make a different animal. God.
Yeah, whenever he makes a cameo. That's awesome.
I was laughing at Gray's hilarious joke.
But whenever he makes a cameo, it takes me out of the movie. Like,
yeah, when was the sex change?
Oh,
remember that,
dude?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll explain that.
What was that? No, what was that joke? Where did that come from?
I don't remember. I remember where we were. We were sitting we were sitting in my room, and like we were all sitting in a huge circle with a bunch of people, like all of us friends. And we were sitting around, and like you.
There was a good amount of people.
Yeah, there must have been at least like 8 people
like,
in the room.
There's a lot of people there. I don't remember.
Okay, maybe there's like 5 people. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh.
It was right around the hot sauce catchphrase.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, the worst joke. The worst
what
joke
was the
anyone's ever
context?
made.
What was the context of that joke? What
somebody,
were we talking
I think
about?
somebody like they were talking about like a guy or a girl, and they slipped up and said he or she. Like,
Yeah,
just an
that's exactly what happened.
Honest mistake, no big deal. And then I was like, when was the sex change? And it was just, no one laughed because it was so unfunny, and I just sat there. And then it was like it was one of those moments where if somebody said something that's so incredibly unfunny, everyone just stops talking. And then all of a sudden, and I just sit there just like loathing myself. And then all of a sudden, and then Daniel just loses his mind and just starts just laughing as hard.
Oh, dude. I completely lost it. Oh, it was so fucking funny because you thought it was so funny. I could just see it in your eyes. Like I'm just gonna throw in something witty here. Nobody's, just trailing right along. Oh, yeah,
not funny.
That's our humor for you. It's 90% of the people in the room don't laugh or don't understand what we're laughing at.
Basically, just like yeah. There's a ton of people in a room, and basically our humor is talking to each other and making each other laugh, while everyone else is like, "This is not fun." That was
Silver Screen, yeah.
that was Silver Screen. That was just, oh my god! Most of the time, it's just Ryan. Ryan sitting there with his elbow in his hand, twisting his neck, his beard under his neck, and then him and I just laughing harder than like I would ever laugh with anyone else in the room.
Did you have a beard back then, Ryan?
I had
man.
Not like a beard. I started the beard probably like
beard.
Sure, the beard. But I grew facial hair in high school. Beard. I grew facial hair in high school, but I don't think I grew like a actual beard probably until college.
Yeah, well, it was enough for you to like grab it and do
to twist it.
Ryan twisty thing.
Do the Ryan twist. And like the little leg shake you do sometimes where it looks like you're like dancing while you're thinking. You notice you do that?
Do I?
Just
he
this.
Does yeah. You're always you're always like hunched and like I can't show the people.
Am I standing up when I do this?
Yeah.
No, you're like
you do this.
Are you serious? No, I don't dance. What?
Yeah, you do.
No, it's just 100% constantly promise. Ryan just hunched over, twisting his beard, and
like
just
moving it, like shaking his leg really fast, like smiling. That's the Ryan. That's
the Ryan. Like the most the cutest smile in the world. I just I want to just kiss you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We know. Who? No, it was Grayson and I. Grayson, everyone's kissed Grayson at this point.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure I've kissed.
I hung out with Grayson like twice, and I'm sure I kissed him.
Yeah.
I also broke his glasses.
That was so unfortunate.
I'm not sure.
I never felt so bad. Well, I mean, I didn't really break them. It was Grayson. He's the guy who's in Rodney. He's like the main man in Rodney.
Yeah.
And he's we were hanging out one night like forever ago. You know how I know it's so long ago, Daniel? It's because it was when The Heart Machine dropped that one album.
Oh my god, yeah, we listened to that on the way to Waffle House and I lost my mind.
So we were back in Daniel's house and I was wrestling with Grayson, and Grayson's a large man, and so I had just no chance, and he was just pinning me down, and his glasses fell off and he rolled over on them and broke them. Oh. And then just 45 minutes of just real sadness. And I felt so bad for him because Grayson's just like the sweetest dude ever.
He couldn't afford new glasses.
Oh, no, so he tried to tape them and it didn't work. Just actual sadness.
You guys shared the blame on that though. I thought a similar moment. What was really funny is when we were filming Who's Waiting Inside, and Ryan you remember this?
Who's Waiting Inside?
Oh, just me being a dick.
Wait, what did you do though, Ryan?
He face planted
for a joke, for the sake of a joke.
Not even part of the video.
No, he was just like making a joke in front of like a lot of people, like performing almost, because there were a lot of people in this room.
Oh god!
And I mean, because there was a bunch of people there, and they were all of our friends and acquaintances.
Yeah.
So, and it was really just me and Ryan and Gray were the only people like talking in the room.
Yeah.
Like we're the only.
Everyone
people,
else was just being awkward.
Everyone else was
Plus,
like
there was like
listening to
my
us.
ex was there, and she brought this friend that was just being a real, just a real downer. She was being an asshole. She was being just the definition of an asshole.
Yep.
Yeah, just like I don't want to be
Just
here.
like,
I want to ruin everyone else's time.
She pouted the whole goddamn time, and she's like 20 at this point.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah. So anyway, like Ryan, I can't remember, some banter was going on in the room. Ryan was. I had the camera, I think. Anyway, he made some joke like he was pretending to hit the ground and fall. And he fell and what did your frame pop out of your glasses?
Yeah.
And then for some stupid reason, I said, "Was it worth it, Ryan?"
Yeah.
And then, but I would have been a dick if I had just left it at that. But I said it like 9 times.
Yeah.
Ryan.
I legitimately got like pissed because I was like, "Shut up! I get it. I get it."
Yeah, and that was funny because like you walked to the bathroom while Gray was still like yelling, like trying to make his voice follow you into the bathroom, like, hey!
You don't walk away from this embarrassment.
And then he came out and he was like, "Yes, it was worth it. I heard you, Gray. Everyone heard you." And I was like,
yeah.
Oh.
Everyone was silent on the inside.
Oh my god!
Like, yes. Oh man!
Hey, let's talk about more stories where we made each other really mad.
I've had a lot of diva moments on set, like the one with Ned, where like you were trying to show me how you wanted me to deliver the line, and then I went out into this. No, I'm Ned. Remember that?
Oh yeah! I was trying to show him a line that I had an idea for Ned, and I started doing Ned's voice, and he was like, "I'm Ned." Like he got into this like existential crisis about who he was as a character. And I was like, "I know, you're the one dressed up here, dude. This is your thing. Fuck."
But like one of the worst moment, like I was down during the whole shoot, but it was like fun. But like I was only behind the camera, like I had the lip sync and stuff. But I was just kind of down for the whole shoot. Was we filmed Closer to Me Than Him the day my grandfather passed away. Like that was the day. Like I found out that morning, and it's like we already planned to film this video. Let's go, Ryan. It was like okay.
You made so many dead grandpas.
Just in the car, just like my grandfather's dead, so I have all the time in the world now.
No, we would say something would be like somebody would say. Like somebody would just like I can't even remember. Somebody would like reference death or like say something about dying, and he'd be like, "Death? You mean like my dead grandpa that died this morning?" Yeah. And we'd just be like, "God damn, Ryan!"
Dude, I would be in such rough shape.
It's how I get over stuff.
Yeah, that's how you cope.
Joking about it is how I cope, and it just makes other people uncomfortable, which makes me comfortable.
Yep, it just all comes back to Ryan making people uncomfortable.
I'm trying to. Okay, this is really random, but we're back on the topic of filming. Yeah, I just destroyed my laptop.
I like the topic of things where we make each other mad.
Yeah,
I like that.
Okay, we'll stick to that topic. Okay.
What about when me and you, Gray? When dude, remember Arrow Run?
Oh no. Okay, so this is basically the moment I kind of stopped being a total asshole was this moment. This moment was the first time I looked at myself and thought like, am I a dick? And the answer was yes, and so I changed. So Daniel and I were hanging out, and all day we'd been doing like competition level stuff, like things like
who can throw a frisbee in the air and catch it behind their back, like
stupid,
shit.
Just dumb. But
Jack of all trades, man. Jack of all trades.
Oh god! So I kept such a dick.
I mean, I was a dick
so,
too. Like I was combating. We were both like head to head.
Yeah, we were butting heads at this point. And so basically, every time I would win, I would like rub it in Daniel's face, just rub it in his face. And so we played this game called Arrow Run. And it's this free arcade game if you've got like the arcade Xbox 360.
We have a video on it.
We did a video that we took off our channel.
That you took off. It was one of the Dare to Play videos.
It's still up on our channel.
Is it still up?
Under Extras, you can check it. It's Dare to Play.
Yeah. They're
Dare to Play
fun.
is under Extras.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I thought they were gone.
If you guys like this podcast, the listeners, and you like long form of us talking, you should go watch the Dare to Plays because they're really long and they're really fun. Anyway, go ahead, Ryan.
So there's the game Arrow Run is basically it's this long grid. And you start on the left and there's a path with arrows that point left, right, down, or up. and you have to, whatever the arrow you're currently on, you have to hit that direction on the D-pad on the 360 controller to go to the next one. And so you'd end up taking this like long convoluted path, and if you missed one, it'd be like, and it would like stop, and you'd have. And so basically, it was the first one to get to the end, and Daniel and I were competing, and I can't really remember the specifics, but I know that like I think I beat him a couple times in a row. And I was just like rubbing it in his face, like just.
Oh, dude,
dick.
I can't remember what you're saying, but it was like there was so much context behind it.
Yes.
Like,
so then Daniel stood up and he threw his controller on the ground and stormed off. And I just sat there and like stormed off and like went in his room and slammed his door. And I was like,
in my mind, that was like the best defense because it was like I don't have to say anything, and I don't have to eat my words later. So I'm just gonna walk away and leave him alone in my house. Like that, and I was like, dude, that is foolproof. That is
and
gonna
so
work.
then I just left, and I just like felt bad about myself for a while because like I realized how much of a dick I was being, and I remember like Daniel and I had this like text fight after that, and I thought our friendship was over. I was so sad, and so then like, but then we were totally cool after that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a moment. I can't.
Dude, I remember this one moment that I pissed you off really bad.
Okay, I was gonna say I couldn't think of a moment whenever y'all pissed me off.
I had one where, and I felt so terrible about this. I was just thinking about this the other day. It was when I was recording the "Marry Me Joanna" album, and we both worked at CVS, and I needed another day off. That because you'd already been covering me a lot, like for the week. Because I needed this time, and you'd requested a day off to go to the drive-in movie theater with like everybody, which I still had never been to. I've still never been to that place.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so many people have gone, and I had to. We ended up having to add an extra day on for drums for the album, and like all the dudes in the band had been pouring so much money into this. I was lucky enough to where I just kind of came in, did my drums, and like played a few shows with them, and I didn't have to pay for the album. I feel bad. I still feel like I owe them money for that because that was a very expensive album to record. So I was on their schedule, and I had to tell Gray like, oh man, like I can't cover for you.
I remember this.
I can't cover for you. And like the text immediately went from like, hey dude, what's up? Like no big deal. Like, hey, by the way, I can't cover. And you sent me like a paragraph of just like, what the fuck, dude? Like I knew it.
Yeah.
What really sucked is you said, I knew you would do this. That's what tore me in half, dude. Because I was like, no. Like we've never had an issue covering for each other before, and like I've covered for you on those nights so you could go to the Big Mo, which is the name of the drive-in, so many times, and so there was never an issue. Like I never cared. Like I was like, well, I guess I'm kind of glad I didn't go because in retrospect, if I had gone, I would have known how cool it was, and then I would have never wanted to work for you when you wanted to go. So yeah, I remember that, and I thought that was like. I was pissed because I was like, how dare he come at me like this? And the other, and I was like, there must be a misunderstanding here. Like there must be something you're missing because like I have no control over this. They've already paid like, $1,000 to get this done.
I remember
and
that.
if I just can't show up, they lose their drummer, so.
That's actually funny because I totally forgot about this. You and I worked together in two completely different situations in the same place. Like we worked together, like we both worked at CVS.
Because of you.
Both of them were because of me. I got you a job at CVS and another job at the Peanut Man. We worked together twice in two different places. And like the first time,
weird.
like was like I got you a job at CVS and we worked there together for like a year and a half or something like that. And then the second job, I got you at this like candy store out in downtown Columbia, and we worked together twice. And that's such a random thing that we did.
Did I tell you the story of how I got fired from there?
From the Peanut Man?
Yeah. I think I told you that
didn't.
story.
I can't remember how you got fired from there.
I didn't mop one night, so they
Are you serious?
fired me. Yeah, they fired me because I didn't mop. They're great people, kind of.
I never mopped.
Like I like them.
Well, you're not supposed to mop wood floors. They had wooden floors, and you were like, "I'm not. You're not supposed to do that." And they're like, "Well, fuck you."
Yeah.
I almost feel like it was the type of firing where it's where it's like you know more than the other person. And you get mad that they showed you up, that they know more than you. So it's like, oh, he knows more. But whatever. No, you don't. We know what we're doing with our business.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I didn't have that connection that you had, Gray, with them. Whereas like you've known them your whole life. They're like members of your family.
Because my dad was best friends with the owner of this place. So like, like, I could do no wrong.
Yeah, like you were super close to them, but I didn't have that connection. So like when they would make like cheesy jokes or like. be really stern. I didn't see that as like a family member being funny.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like it was like I'm really uncomfortable, and I really don't like working at this place. But I mean, overall, it was a good job. Like it was really easy.
That's where you filmed y'all's best video.
Did we film 2 videos there? Actually, we filmed taking pics there too in the basement.
Excellent video. But no, that's actually a cool backstory because that place where you worked was that in that basement is where you filmed Danger and Fiction, which is y'all's first interaction with Markiplier, which like changed everything. That's so cool.
Yeah, that is crazy to think about. Like
that basement is scary as fuck.
Oh, it's terrifying, and like it's just so weird to think that like talking about all this just brings me back to those moments. And then now, like we just like went to the gym with this dude who used to be like miles and miles away from us.
And he
was like star, and now it's...
Yeah, we're trying to get in shape now. That's a new thing.
Yeah.
Really?
By the way,
we're both on a diet and going to the gym, like heavy workouts Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and like light workouts the days in between.
we're doing it with
Sounds
Mark.
awesome.
Mark is pretty much the leader of the pack.
We drank some muscle milk.
Drank some muscle milk, and we feel bad because he's way stronger than us. So
I'm a fat fuck, and I feel I feel so bad. Like Daniel's running at like 11 like sprints, or 11.5. What were you doing? 12, 11?
I was doing 11.
11. He was doing.
Wait, 11 mile an hour?
we're doing sprints.
So for 30 seconds you sprint, and then you walk for a minute, and
11
30
mile an hour
second
is
sprint.
fast as shit.
Yeah,
I almost fell off.
and
Yeah,
then
it was bad.
I think Mark was doing 11.
Mark started at 10 and got up to 11 and a half because he just looked over at me. He probably looked over at mine and was like, "Fucking pussy, I'm move this one up."
I want to do more than Daniel.
I gotta
like
do more than
I had.
Daniel.
I just had to stay at a constant. Like I started at 11. I was like, no, I had to stay at a constant 10.5, and my heart rate went up to
That's still
207. I almost like.
He almost
I
had
feel
a goddamn heart attack.
Almost death. That's like you went into like AFib or something.
I feel it was a cardiac
Nice.
arrest. Just like I was. Yeah, just basically the lesson here is just Ryan's fat and needs to lose the fat tittiness.
But I mean, but Mark put it well when we talked about this afterward. Is that I mean, Ryan is a physically bigger person than both of us.
Yeah.
And our bodies metabolize different, and he's got more excess weight that is countering his muscle activity, so he's technically getting a better workout than we are because he's got more weight on him and more to lose. And it'll also lose on him faster than it will me.
Well, because I got more to lose.
Yeah. I mean, there's no math there. That's just kind of how it is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's been great. Like I have so much
love
energy.
it. I love it. Like right now, it's like I've like feeling sore and everything. I'm like, you know what? I want to be healthy. Gray, you took us to the gym a few times. You and I got in this like
Your dad
gym
destroyed
spree.
my arms. Did I ever tell you about that?
Yeah, no. Wait, did you go with my dad at some point after I'd gone back to
Yeah.
Clemson?
I went with Ryan and
Your dad. How weird that says. Just went with your dad just to chill, just lift weights.
we lifted them, and man, your dad
Outshowed
goes
us.
hard, dude. Your dad is no joke in the gym.
My dad's like a strong motherfucker. Like, I went back home the other day. He like upped his workout game like since Christmas, and so like I went back after like not being home for like 2.5 months. Mm-hmm. And dude, he's gotten like buff. Like he's got like it's kind of stupid. He makes me feel inadequate because he is such a large, strong man. It's crazy.
Do you guys have a gym there at Clemson?
Yeah, we
It's
do.
like a
I don't.
gym anyone can use?
It's such a bummer though because it's a small gym that's used by a lot of people.
Oh wow.
So like I worked out all summer and I did a lot of weight training, and I wanted to keep going when I got back here. And the first time I went, my typical workouts back home was about 45 minutes. When I went the first time, it was an hour and 45 minutes because there are so many people there. You like stand in line for the weights that you want. So it's like I would do one workout and it'd be 15, 20 minutes before I do another one.
I couldn't
Yeah.
stand in line to do weights because I know like if I'm doing weights and someone's standing by me, it like makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't do that. Don't rush me. I feel like I'm being rushed.
Yeah.
And I can't get the workout that I want to have.
And it sucks because a lot of times, like if you're doing reps, like you're doing like say you do like four sets of like 10 reps, you have to take a 30, 45 second break in between. And so it's like all these people are waiting for these weights, and I'm just sitting here not using them. But I am using them, but I'm just resting.
Yeah.
But they're
And I
also.
just-
Sorry, go.
No, I didn't have anything.
That's why it's good to have a buddy at the gym, so that
Yeah.
if somebody looks at you weird, they're more afraid to talk to you because you've got a friend that can collectively beat the fucking shit.
It comes down to kind of a mindset that you were talking about like a while back of just kind of like, just do you, like fuck other people, like don't let them get in the way of, you know, your success in any way. Like if you're working out the gym and you're using the weights and like people look like they're pissed off, whatever, they will get to use the weights. They just don't get to do it in the timely manner they want.
And when I see people like do that, like don't, because I mean there's etiquette in the gym, of course.
Yeah.
But like for instance, I mean, I'm kind of trying to speak on a wider scale here about human behavior, but like in the gym is a great example of people sitting down or not sitting down, or picking up weights and doing it, and people waiting in line. Like when I see somebody that's like not as timid and like oh I'm sorry, I'll just be real quick. Like when they're not doing that. When I see people do that, it's like I just got completely thrown off.
It's like you respect them, or it's like, oh, you do this more often because
it's like I just immediately respect them. There's no like thought that crosses my mind. Ugh, what a dick. It's just like they're people and they're doing their thing, and it gets me down sometimes when I see people that lack confidence in themselves. And it's not like I want to help them or anything. It's just like it makes the situation more awkward. It makes it harder. It makes me feel like now I'm in the power position, so I am like almost required in this situation to go ahead and like hurry forth and like take it from them. Like I think that's just human. That's human nature. People with lower confidence are going to fall under those. You know, I don't know what I'm saying. What did you hold the phone up for? What did you distracted?
Because I wanted you to look at your phones where it said that I need to go, and I didn't want to interrupt the podcast. Like,
well, anyways,
we have a timer, but we're almost at 2 hours.
Nice. I'm very excited to listen back to this podcast.
I just got your text just now.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, guys. So I think this is a better time to end it than any other time to end.
Yeah, this is awesome. I legitimately, we could sit here for another 2 hours.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back, definitely.
Yeah, I've got so many cool, so many other things I'd like to talk about that I meant to talk about that I didn't talk about. Like music stuff, like the new Kendrick Lamar album, the new Death Grip stuff, just a bunch of cool stuff like this. But
movies too for Ryan. So
I know I wanted to talk about
more about movies.
I wanted to talk about video games and stuff. But I'm sure I'll be back on.
Yeah, you'll be back on, definitely.
You'll be back on pretty soon.
Thank you for taking the time out to do this for 2 hours. Just talk for 2 hours with us.
Yeah, dude.
I think it's like the first time we've had a chance to like seriously catch up. Not through Snapchat.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm not very responsive on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what to take a picture of. I'm like,
your dick.
And obviously we've learned that. But
lesson learned.
Yeah.
Come full circle.
Hope everything is well in Clemson, and thanks again for listening. And guys, this has been the Cyndágo podcast with our great friend Gray Rhodes. Ryan, why don't you take us home?
Bye.